Okay. Okay. Okay and okay. Okay, hello and okay. Hello, hello. What's up? If you don't know me, I'm Goose. And today is the Wednesday stream. Typically we do just gaming on the Wednesday stream. But, you know, we're going to still do that. But we're also going to do a little something extra. A little something extra for us. Center horizontale. YouTube. I mean, we're going to do the same shit we do all the time, right? But what we're going to do a little differently is, while I play the game, we're going to watch a video. Or maybe a couple videos. Manage tab. Oh, well, that's not what I wanted to do. Oh, jeez. I don't even know what tab groups are. You'll have to forgive me. Now you can see most of the screen at least. And then we will shrink me. Don't mind if I do. And we will put the video that I'm reacting to on this El Skrizzle Dizzle, if you will. Welcome, welcome. We're just getting things started. If you can't tell, I am still in the process of losing my voice. It's been a slow burn. Yeah. But I'm pretty sure my voice is just it's going downhill. Wow, this music is really obnoxious. Let's put up a different one. Why not, you know? I just don't know which of this stuff is royalty free. Just wanted some nice peaceful country adjacent music to party down to. All right. Let's bring up this browser here. Boom. Put it on this thing. All right, then I will bring it onto the screen. And let's reset the transform. Ciabatta. I believe that one also needs to be reset. Ciabatta. All right. Well, let me get it to a size that I like, that I can see. Hello to those of you who are joining. Please stick around. We're going to be, I guess, showing how, you know, comic books are, I guess, woke all of a sudden. I don't know what that means. I mean, I guess I do. I guess I know what it means. It means that people are, hey, Erica, what's up? It means that people are upset about comic books, I guess. Yeah, crazy. I don't know if you've seen any of these thumbnails floating around. It's been a bit of a thing lately. So I guess let's just take a look at his most popular video, right? See what the most popular video is. Oh, it turns out that it's a it's an anti-Superman rant.
James Gunn Super.
Before we dive too deeply in, I just wanted to say again, hi and hello, and thank you for joining. Hi, I'm Goose. Nice to meet you. If you're new here, you know, just hang out for a bit. I know that it's easy to just swipe away when something isn't immediately entertaining, but I am sincerely trying to build a community here, and it would be super helpful if you just hung out for a bit, and at the very least, left either a comment or a chat message or something just to support the stream. I would really appreciate it. Let me just put a poll here. There we go. We'll start a poll there, just to see if people can spot that little cheekiness. It doesn't show that the chat messages are showing up on OBS, so just, you know, repeat your chat message if you don't see it popping up for me. All right, so we're gonna listen to this guy. I'm gonna just, hey Dex, how's it going? I'm just gonna let him kind of I guess rant on. No, didn't want to do that. I'm just gonna let him say his piece, I guess. You know, I kind of wish that people like this didn't necessarily have the platform they do, because all it does is serves to, you know, alienate the opposite side and then embolden the bad actors. But we'll get into it. We'll get into it. We'll handle that as it comes. You know, we'll just kind of get there when we get there. But I don't need the video to be super big. You really just need to listen to him to hear what he has to say. But we will leave him big on the vertical, just so that you guys can kind of see the man while he insults people for looking weak. Because, oh, he will. Oh, he will. I would assume that he hides it, manufactures it, and smokes it all in the comfort of his basement. And don't get me wrong, I know that I myself look like a basement dweller, even though I'm in an office right now. I know that I look like that, but I assure you that the neckbeard sense is not very strong within me. I am not a womanizer, nor am I into anime. So yeah, let's get to the video. So I will have it play a little faster than normal, just because it's, you know, I want to get through a couple of videos from this guy. All right, Here we go. Superman is woke and the worst movie ever made, apparently. Let's let's find out why.
Superman is the worst fucking movie that's ever
Hold
been
on, let's
made.
make sure that
Stay true to
he
what I said.
let's make
James
sure that
Gunn's
he can
Superman
generalize
is the worst fucking movie that's
without
ever
me adding
been made.
context.
I stay true to what I said. While it's closed, I'm not giving money to James Gunn, the freak, or DC. But I did watch Superman fully somehow, and I don't know how they did it, but James Gunn has managed to make the worst superhero movie ever made. Before we go any further, just be warned, this is not hyperbole. This is not rage.
Oh no, it's totally not hyperbole at all. Totally not hyper. I assure you. I assure you. This is totally not hyperbole. Totally not.
This movie
I
is
assure
a
you.
disgrace to filmmaking. And if you saw the movie and you agree
Film.
and you want to help out this channel, maybe consider subscribing or
He says film the same way that Melania does. Would you like to go see my film?
supporting me over on Patreon. So there's been a lot of reviews from everybody all across the internet, and I'm gonna be honest, a lot of these people are just lying because they don't want to destroy the movie. People are saying it isn't woke and it isn't even that bad. Some people are saying it's a 10 out of 10 that's better than Iron Man, Avengers Endgame, and I'm here to tell you that everybody on all sides of this are lying. Once again, it isn't rage bait. If you watch this movie, try to make out the structure. Who
saying that something is woke, having a thumbnail that says like woke in big letters, and then like just starting out by saying that James Gunn is like the woke, like made a woke worst film ever. I don't know if maybe he doesn't know what rage bait is. I don't know. I kind of liked it, and it was just a little bit out of story. My thoughts on James Gunn's Superman were that I think filmmakers are playing it really tame right now, and I think James Gunn has a very strict formula that he uses for a lot of his movies. If you don't know much about James Gunn, he started in Troma, so he started making like schlocky B-horror movies and working on things like Toxic Avenger and Romeo and Juliet, and I think he was a screenwriter for Romeo and Juliet. But so he did a lot of like quirky shit, and it really comes out like if you watch Guardians of the Galaxy, any of his even modern movies kind of still follow his same formula, but it really was a thing with like Guardians of the Galaxy and Slither. They were really obviously like James Gunn's like very signature style, and I guess I know that it's entirely, you know, it's absolutely the reality that people didn't see that style until way later, but yeah, he has a specific way that he likes to do things, and when he made Superman, I think he was being really safe, just like I think when they came out with Captain America with the Red Hulk, I think they were trying to really go back to the Russos, go back to Winter Soldier, and they didn't do it very well, because the Winter Soldier, we have the benefit of hindsight of seeing what went right, and they still didn't do the things that went right and then omit the things that went wrong. So it's very clearly a style that he has, and I think that's playing it safe and having your own style that you're imprinting onto the thing that you're making. It can make for a fun movie, but maybe not the best story wise, maybe not the best subject wise. Like having Lex Luthor be one of many villains is fine, but Superman didn't ever really get to fight Lex Luthor, and that's fine. But I think if we think about the comics, if we think about like, oh, well, this is what fans are going to want to see, then chances are they're probably going to want to see a punch up between the two, between the two people who are being represented on screen. And so it's good. It's a good movie. I don't know that I would consider it woke necessarily. I want to see what he has to say about it.
Greenlit this script? Is there a beginning, a middle, or even an end? Or are we just dropped into the worst movie ever created by man? That's exactly what it is, because from all the trailers, I thought that this movie was going to be terrible, but still a fun time. And there was one fun part that could be excused, which was Nathan Fillion's Guy Gardner, which I actually found...
Oh, right. So the one guy that's supposed to be a douchebag, he's like, oh, here you go. There you go. Nathan Fillion makes a great douchebag. What? How is that a cogent point? How does that fix anything that you're saying?
kind of funny. But other than like 5 seconds of footage where Superman and Lois were acting like they were in an actual Superman movie, this was a piece of crap. And I can't really stress it enough. There's pieces of crap, and then there's this movie. It's really easy for a movie to be bad. Superman, on the other hand, is like the Flash times 1,000. I can't really put it into words if you haven't watched this movie. There's no structure, there's no writing, there's no acting. The CGI is terrible. There's so much comedy, it'll make you want to pluck your own eyes out. Every time Superman even comes close to doing anything that's anyway good, he just gets knocked over by a dog. Lex Luthor is a stupid analogy for Donald Trump and racism. There's lesbian girl bosses running around.
What? Hold on. What? Where did we get to lesbian girl bosses? What? What? DC makes it a lot of complicated. DC makes it a lot of complicated by a lot of actors for a single role. Yeah, I mean, he does ensemble movies. And again, that's totally fine, but that's part of his sort of trademark style. And attaching labels to the people is so strange. So just list all in this one statement here.
Terrible. There's so much comedy, it'll make you want to pluck your own eyes out.
If you didn't go to a James Gunn movie expecting comedy, then I don't know what the fuck to tell you, because he injects comedy into pretty much every movie that he's made. It's always been sort of tongue-in-cheek, but he's done it. I don't know why you wouldn't expect that at this point. Like, you just want, like, just run-of-the-mill, like, same old, formulaic Superman, like, does the same shit that he did in the Brian Routh movie, does the same shit he did in the Christopher Reeve movie, does the same shit he did in the the same shit in the fucking Zack Snyder movie. Like, what do you want? What do you want from him? That guy likes lesbians bossing around. He probably does like to get bossed around. That's probably his kink.
Every time Superman even comes close to doing anything that's anyway good, he just gets knocked over by a dog.
Comes close to doing anything that's in any way good. What does that mean? I don't know.
Knocked over by a dog.
What you're talking about. So in the beginning, he's beat the fuck up. In the beginning, he's got the tar kicked out of him by, spoiler alert, his clone. And he's like sitting there bleeding in the frozen tundra. What do you expect? What do you want to happen? He does this was a tongue-in-cheek reference to a moment in the Zack Snyder film, which was kind of like a friendly nod to Zack Snyder, because they have nothing but a friendly rivalry right now. Like, he really was just pointing to that moment. I'll show you which one. Oh, geez. Oh, that was a pleasant sound, but sorry for the ASMR. We'll take a look at the exact fucking thing. Like, if you guys, like, for real, if you guys don't fucking, like, get a shiver up your spine when you see this fucking clip, then you're dead to me, okay? I'll even turn the Western ambient music off for this. Yeah, he probably did watch it from YouTube Shorts. I would not doubt that. So don't tell me that this fucking scene doesn't give you the heebie-fucking-jeebies. In a good way, I guess. The good shivers.
Your cells have drunk in its radiation.
This fucking moment, dude.
Your skin, your senses.
Oh, I was so pumped.
Yet its atmosphere is more
seeing this in the trailer.
You've grown stronger.
And the fact that they're like explaining it, like realistically, they're trying to explain it in a way that kind of makes sense. It's still not physically possible, really, but if and the music. Oh, God, the music! Ah! Yes! My endorphins. And he's trying. And the effort, the fucking effort that he's putting into it, the sheer will. He doesn't believe. He's just a human. He thinks he's just a human. He doesn't believe he can fly. He doesn't know it. He knows something's going on with him. He knows that he's different from human beings. But he doesn't believe this. There's no physical way that a human can fly. But just like that phrase, you'll believe a human can fly, comes from Superman. So good. Such a good moment. See him rise and fall, rise and fall, rise and fall.
You will give the people of Earth
Yes!
an ideal to strive towards.
Ugh!
They will race behind you. They will stumble. They will fall. But in time,
We'll rise
they will
again.
join you in the sun.
Yeah.
In time, you will
Dude,
help them
he was like
accomplish wonders.
exuding just pure fucking masculine energy. Pure fucking energy. Pure fucking manliness. And I wanted to fucking grab his face and give him a big old smooch. Yes! Oh! And then the sonic boom. He's instantly ready for it. Ugh! Like this is who he was always meant to be. He finally found himself. Can you imagine how much freedom that would be? If you just spent your entire life just being a normal human being, even above average human being, and then you find out you can fucking fly faster than the speed of sound? Woo! Like, oh man. I still look at this moment. This is like pure unabashed emotion from me. This is like so fucking good. I am so inspired and motivated right now. Fuck. Look at him. Look at him. This was someone who was overcoming extreme odds just to be the hero that people needed him to be. For his dad and for his other dad. Gay dads? Sure. But the whole this sequence in the new movie was really just a tongue-in-cheek moment. It was just supposed to be like a, hey, you know, Zack Snyder, I just want to let you know I see you. I see you. I understand. You know, you're part of the community too. Here's a little nod to you. Here's a nod to your Superman. And yeah, he's a good guy. He's the good guy type. But that he plays more of the Golden Age Superman than Henry Cavill did. And I don't see a problem with that. Like, that's a good thing to me. It's great to see different performances. I love Brandon Routh. I loved Christopher Reeve. I love George Reeves, even though he really only did it for the paycheck. And he was massively depressed. But it's usually the saddest people that give the best performances in movies and films and stuff. Unfortunately, you have a lot more to draw from.
Lex Luthor is a stupid analogy for Donald.
But so when he gets the shit beat out of him, he gets the color beat off his cape. He flies into the frozen tundra, and Krypto didn't know what the fuck was going on. Krypto had no idea that, you know, Superman was in pain. Like, he's a fucking dog. And if James Gunn wants to be a good filmmaker, he's gonna portray dogs like fucking dogs. It's not some, like, alien dog that has sentience or something. The dog in the comics is just a dog. He's just always been a dog. There's no, like, he's just a dog. He's not like a smart genius dog. He's just a dog. What I want to know is what this guy wants. I just want to know what he wants. I just wanted to know, like, what his alternative would be. But I don't think he has one.
Trump and racism. There's lesbian girl bosses running around. There's an emphasis on...
That woman never once mentions her sexuality. Never once. Are you assuming, is this... Now, you'll see him in a little bit. He looks like one of those skinny metalheads that you like... That I probably would have wanted to beat up in high school. And I wasn't a bully. I was bullied at a school where outcasts went who got bullied at other schools. And I was bullied there. So I was bullied, what would you say? I was bullied squared. But this guy, I probably would have made fun of this guy. Merge with Superman? Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what he wants, but I definitely, I, I don't see where there's a lesbian girl boss anywhere. And also, if you're noticing that there's a parallel between Lex Luthor and Trump, I'm gonna have to say, this was probably one of the most faithfully reproduced depictions of Lex Luthor that I've ever seen. He's really, at his core, just a petulant child, always looking for daddy's approval. And so, yeah, I guess I can see the parallels, but he's a megalomaniacal sociopath, narcissist. So if you see the parallels, maybe you should reassess the politicians you support. But nobody was calling that out. Nobody was saying like, oh, look, guys, Lex Luthor is totally the analog for Trump here. Come on. You gotta be stupid to just be like putting that right in there just for no reason. Have you seen Parshva Savla? How's it going? Have you seen Stranger Things? Who is your favorite character? Please answer. I have seen Stranger Things, but I didn't really like any season after like season 3. They all just kind of fell off for me. Favorite character, I guess Steve? I don't know. I guess Steve has probably the best arc out of all the other characters. He actually gets to like, you know, stay in his hometown and do good by the community there, and you know, do all kinds of outreach and stuff. He gets to be a good person. Gosh darn it. Gets to have one of them white picket fence lives, like everyone seems to want these days. The American dream, if you will. I'm going to turn off the face cam just for a second, guys. If you know why, then go ahead and smoke them if you got them. At this point, bro's just adding his own thoughts to sound funny. Oh, yeah, I honestly think he's just trying to troll. I really do. I really just think that... So a lot of people who watch this guy, who have commented on this guy, because that's how he showed up in my feed, are saying that he's just like a grifter. And I don't know. I haven't seen him selling anything, but I feel like anyone who gets monetized probably is grifting to some extent. Whether it's a dishonest grift or an honest grift, they're doing it. I don't necessarily think he's like scamming people or anything, though. Yeah.
Gen Z and TikTok for some reason. Superman is whining for the entire movie. His voice is so high-pitched, and the dude...
Right. So acknowledging that people have emotions, I guess, is somehow a bad thing. Acknowledging that people act like humans, in general, or in specifically, as far as Superman goes, trying to humanize him, because he is not a human at the end of the day. He's an alien. And if he's going to express emotions in a way that a human would, then he is almost exactly human. That's the whole point, is that he's just like any of us. That's the entire point to all of the whole, like, showing the behind the scenes about his emotions and him getting into a fight with Lois. It's all a demonstration about how Clark is just like everybody else. He may be an alien, but he is still also an Earthling. He is also a human being. He was raised as a human. He believed himself to be a human for a while. That's just, you know, who he is. And a filmmaker showing that or not showing that does not make a movie woke or not woke. A movie showing that means that they are willing to show that side of Clark. You know, Zack Snyder showing that Clark was a dark, brooding person during that period in his life is absolutely appropriate for that period in his life, when he was, like, you know, on the run from himself, trying to discover who he was and just didn't really understand much about his own history. Then yeah, he's going to be dark and brooding. He's going to be depressed. He's going to be like upset. Like all you fucking teenagers out there, like all you like who say, oh, I hate my parents. Oh, I wish I could just die. It's that kind of angsty shit that Clark is feeling in that moment. He hasn't had a chance to be anything real. He just knows this shit about himself. He knows he's different, but he doesn't know why. And even if he did know why, it's knowing that you're the last person from an entire civilization of people that would put anybody in a bad fucking mood. Yeesh. That curve Lex has is the same as Voldemort. Yeah, I mean, Voldemort was a baldy, so makes sense. I'm going to go ahead and hit this bong. Please feel free to hit your bong as well if you are doing so, and smoke them if you got them. I'm actually going to get the game started here in just a second. I just wanted to get the bong going. All right, give me one moment. BRB. I'll let the video play.
There's lesbian girl bosses running around. There's an emphasis on Gen Z and TikTok for some reason. Superman is whining for the entire movie. His voice is so high-pitched and the dude never stops screaming and being autistic. I don't know how I can say it anymore. This movie is the most retarded thing to ever exist. Genuinely, I've watched a lot of movies from many different countries, time periods. I'm not bragging here. I'm just saying that I know that Superman is probably in the top 3 worst of all of them. Forget
Slurs aside, I think that at this point, people use the R word really only just to get a rise out of people who would push back against it. I don't think that they actually believe that that is a real medical term anymore. I think they're really just trying to get people angry. But, you know, we can take that as it is.
It's the most retarded thing to ever...
Right. So Lex is not a parallel for Trump. If you think he is, then you clearly see that in Trump, and you might want to rethink who you support. Secondly, there are no lesbian girl bosses because this person doesn't at any point establish their sexuality. And even if they did, one single gay person in a movie doesn't mean that there are lesbian girl bosses. The people in the actual movie are, let's see, Lois, who's straight, her coworker, who's straight, Perry, who's straight, Jimmy, who's straight, the girl who's obsessed with Jimmy, who's Lex's girlfriend, is straight, Lex is straight, Superman's straight, let's see, Guy Gardner, I believe, is supposed to be canonically straight, Hawk Girl, I believe, is the only one who is a known bisexual, even though I'm pretty sure Destiny or whatever says that she's supposed to be with Carter or something. They changed all that stuff, I think, in the last Crisis event. But basically, I think she was designed to be Hawkman's wife. But they split that off when they described how I think she, like, they all came from, like, a planet. God, I forget what it's called. It might come back to me. But yeah, no, there are no, it's not full of lesbian girl bosses, nor is, what is it? What did he say? He said,
there's lesbian girl bosses running around. There's an
oh, and he said he's supposed to be a parallel to Trump and racism?
Luthor is a stupid analogy for Donald Trump and racism. There's
my guy, ranting for vengeance. This is specifically to you, just specifically a message to you, my brother in Christ. You know that you can say racism on the internet. Why would you think that racism would be a dirty word that you're not allowed to say? That's really strange. You're allowed to say racism. You're allowed to say shit. You're allowed to say fuck. You're allowed to say penis fart. You can honestly say pretty much anything you want as long as it doesn't go against the terms of service. So being racist, like you are, constantly, would get you banned, but saying the word racist would not. Hope that's a good example. Take that to the bank, my friend.
Lesbian girl bosses running around. There's an emphasis on Gen Z and TikTok.
There's only one person who expresses their sexuality, and I'm pretty sure they didn't even say it in the movie. I'm pretty sure they were just, when they announced Hawk Girl, I think they said something about her being bisexual. But I'm pretty sure in the comics, she's either with Carter or she's with a girl. I don't know for sure. Someone could correct me.
For some reason, Superman
Happy
is
to know.
whining for the entire movie. His voice is so high-pitched, and the dude never stops screaming and being autistic. I don't know how I can say it.
This kid... Well, yeah, N-word can get a ban, absolutely. He doesn't say that. He says black people, though. And he mentions them a lot. So, his criticism of Clark is that his voice is too high-pitched, and that he's too autistic. I don't know what he's saying is too autistic. I don't know what he's describing. Autistic is not an adjective. So I'm not sure how someone could be being autistic. I think that it's obviously a spectrum that is diagnosed by a specialist, someone who knows how to look for these things. Assuming that David Cornsweet or Superman or Clark Kent himself is autistic might explain his awkwardness, but there's really no other like markers that you can use to determine. It's easier for someone who's less functioning because then you can be like, oh well, there's the stimming, there's the what is it, the non like you're not interacting with the world. What is that? Non-reactive, I think. Stop. Not cool. Go. Not cool. Not cool. I'm gonna clap some more, bitch. Get it. Get it, get it, get it.
Anymore. This movie is the most retarded thing to ever exist.
I can actually describe this guy just by 1 minute listening to him. Well, yeah.
Genuinely, I've watched a lot of movies from many different countries, time periods.
He is a cookie cutter.
I'm just saying.
He is the same old.
Probably in the top 3 worst of
from all the same videos that I watch all day long.
Forget, like, I don't know, Plan 9 from Outer Space being the worst movie ever made. This is it right here. You thought Marvel humor was bad. Well, they have so much of it that you want to die. It literally has some of the worst CGI in a new movie, and I'm not alone on this. Just look at the reviews.
Oh,
so
boy.
people will jump to Rotten Tomatoes right here and try to prove me wrong, saying that, what are you saying, little bro? The movie is a success. 95 on the audience score. Everybody loves it. I looked through that audience score. It was a big load of bots that loved Crypto, the little cute dog, which was one of the most retarded parts about the entire movie. You come over to a real source like, I don't know, Empire Magazine, and they have a rating 2 out of 5 stars, saying exactly what I'm saying. The movie is so messy and garbage. The end of the movie is just a CGI mess. The Guardian 2.
I don't know how you would ever be able to pull off any of the shit that they did in the end of the movie without using some CG. I mean, yeah, I'm in the, I'm in the practical effects are always better crowd, but I'm not going to criticize them simply because they had to use CG for a certain specific part that you just can't do without using it. That's just weird. That's just strange, I find it strange. And I hope that he I'm sorry, I'm trying to move one of these windows around real quick. Come on, give me space here. There we go. Okay. Sorry. I had to change my windows around real quick. I want to be able to see everything as opposed to just one thing. If you're just joining, welcome. I'm Goose. That's about all you need to know right now. We're talking about, what are we talking about? We're talking about how comic books are somehow woke and gay. Or superheroes anyway. So, if you like that kind of stuff, stick around and, we'll keep talking about it. And shit. Here, I'll put that text in the middle of the screen for you. We'll take off the scroll filter. No, we won't take off the scroll filter. We will leave the scroll filter on. Where is it? There it is. Move it here. And edit this. Properties. There we go. Put that right in the middle of the screen so people can see it when they swipe in, If you're just swiping in and you see this, you're just swiping onto this live stream. And this text is what you see. Get ready for a roller coaster ride. This guy gets bullied, but he wants to be like cool kids, and also he gets the word R slur used on him out of nowhere, and he hides crack, but he can't use them because he has no guts. That's the summary. All right. Sure. Sort of agreed. Changing the title just a smidge. And Babu. Also, if you enjoy commentary on this kind of shit, I mean, normally we're just playing games on Wednesdays. but seeing this guy's video got me feeling a little spicy, so I wanted to react to it voiced. Which is why the gameplay might be going a little slow right now, but you know, that's okay. That's all right. You know, it's a casual day. It's a casual work Wednesday, which it sounds like an oxymoron, but I said it, so I gotta stick by it. I gotta be consistent with my words, you know. It's a dumb thing that I said though. It's a pretty dumb thing. There are also two probabilities he might be either homosexual or a PDF file. You can't really tell just by watching someone's videos or listening to them speak.
2 out of 5 stars. I don't really know.
But I mean,
what
there is a
here,
cross section of people that
it's painfully mediocre. Another news
you know,
source
feel like they
rates
can't
2.5
express
stars out of
themselves.
5. I don't know what I'm missing here. The movie
And
isn't
so they
some
lash
10 out
out.
of 10. Everybody knows it's spasticated. You just don't want to hear it. Now, I'd love to go in depth and show everything on screen, but I just need to tell you, for the people who haven't watched this movie, how ridiculously bad this is. For the first hour of the movie, Superman is on the ground screaming and whining. That's not a joke. It's not rage bait. He literally doesn't get up off of the ground for a full 60 minutes. He's in some pocket wormhole universe, and in that universe, Lex Luthor, who is terrible and gay, by the way, for some reason.
Terrible and gay?
Empire magazine, and they have it rated 2 out of 5 stars, saying exactly what I'm saying. The movie is so messy and garbage. The end of the movie.
But, okay, well, you could say why you think that it's messy and garbage without just using the words R, slur, and gay. I don't... It's like those TikToks where people are making fun of the MAGA people, where they're like, fake and gay, fake and gay, fake and gay, fake and gay, woke, 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 you know, all that kind of shit. It's like that kind of thing, you know? It feels like he's just repeating memes he's heard over and over again. Do you need to go outside? She normally taps on the door. I can't hear it, but I don't want an accident in the house. What? Do you need to go outside? Do you need to make a poo-poos? She doesn't. Guys, everyone in my chat, hey chat. She doesn't have to poo-poos. She doesn't have to poo-poos, okay guys? I mean, that's a relief. You wouldn't want that happening in the house, okay? You don't want the poo-poos in the house. You want the poo-poos away from the house. I mean, I don't know what away from the outside, I guess. Yep. Don't mess with me. Strike gain 1 crystal would be good for Inspire. And friendly units 5 attack per crystal is just good all around. So I don't know why I wouldn't just take the easy one.
It's just a CGI mess. The Guardian, 2 out of 5 stars.
So the CGI mess, being a good point to make, has nothing to do with being gay or being woke or being whatever he's like. It seems like he's doing like the hatred of the day. You know, it's like, well, I've got to hate somebody, but he just goes through the same list each time. Like, it just gay, woke, black, gay, woke, black, gay, woke, black. And that's just kind of it. Like, that's all he's got in his repertoire.
I don't really know what people are seeing here, but it's getting destroyed. Another news source says it's painfully mediocre. Another news source rates it 2.5 stars out of 5.
Which has nothing to do with homosexuality, nothing to do with being woke, nothing to do with racism, nothing to do with any of that shit. There's nothing to do with any of that shit. It's because it's a mess, right? From their point of view, it's because it's a mess. It's because they play it too safe. They do too much. They try to fit too much into a movie. Sure. Anyone can agree with those points of views, and some publications might be doing so just because they want to make things a little bit like controversial, maybe, you know, to sell some papers, perhaps. Papers. Magazines, articles, subscriptions. I don't know how publications make their money these days. I assume it's from advertising. So bringing people to their website.
I don't know what I'm missing here. The movie isn't some 10 out of 10.
Removing all buffs,
Everybody knows it's sophisticated. You just don't want to
50%
hear it.
chance to
Now, I'd love
remove
go
all
in
the
depth and
enemy's
show
buffs when
everything
they
on screen, but I
enter
just need to
the
tell you, for
train.
the people who haven't watched this movie, how ridiculously bad this is. For the first
Essential.
hour of the movie, Superman is on the ground screaming and whining. That's not a joke. It's not rage bait. He literally doesn't get up off of the ground for a full 60 minutes. He's in some pocket war.
It is hyperbole though, because sure, if you take it one way, you can say, yeah, he was on the ground for a full 60 minutes, but that's cherry picking all the pieces of time in the entire movie where he was on the ground and just smacking them together and say it was for a full 60 minutes. Instead, what it was he was on the ground for 65, milliseconds here, and then like a second and a half here, and then 10 seconds here, and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. He's just trying to sound like he's making a good point without actually making a good point. Superman in the comics gets defeated all the time. That's part of if he's never heard of something called the hero's journey or a story arc, or what's his face who makes Rick and Morty call it? He calls it the table, something, whatever. The point is, a story wheel, I think it is. The point is, you have to have like ups and downs. You got to have emotional moments that make you connect to the movie as a viewer. And so if you can do that effectively without making it seem too obvious, like, oh, here's a really happy thing happening. Oh, here's a really sad thing happening. If you can hide it in nuance by saying Superman is getting beat the fuck up and gets sent into the ice and has to get repaired and drawn by Crypto to the Fortress of Solitude in order to overcome this difficulty, that's good storytelling. So if you're just, he's just making up this criticism. He's really just taking disparate parts in the movie and smashing them together and saying that he was on the ground for 60 minutes. Although the next thing he says about Lex is interesting.
Wormhole universe, and in that universe, Lex Luthor, who is terrible and gay, by the way, for
What? Wait. So Lex Luthor, whose girlfriend is constantly on screen with him, is somehow gay. Sexuality is a spectrum. You can be omnisexual. You can be, you can even be polyamorous. You can be trying to have a relationship with a man and a woman. It just really depends on what your flavor is, what your preferences are. It's just a little weird to just inject that into the discourse where it wasn't in the first place. It does maybe suggest that one might perhaps be trying to realize something about themselves.
some reason, he just shows up and shows Superman that everybody online trying to cancel Superman, typing angry comments, aren't actually real. They're a big load of monkeys typing at a keyboard. No, that's not a joke. I didn't make that up. James Gunn is saying that everybody hating and review bombing Superman are monkeys. So let me...
Well, no, because the movie hadn't come out at that point. I'm sure that you could look at it in retrospect and say, oh, that's how he sees all the fans that are disappointed with his work. No, the movie has to come out for people to see it before they start review bombing it. And there are way too few test screen viewers, I guess. You have up to a certain amount. You say like, okay, let's let 100 people see the movie. It's not like we're going to preview this movie for about 6 months. Everyone gets to see it. No. That's not... When he was making the movie, he put the monkeys in there as Lex's, 100 monkeys on 100 typewriters, right? He even says that in the movie, I believe. So it's strange that this is a thing that you didn't like in this, because you're correlating it to something that cannot physically happen in reality. You'd have to go back in time in order to make that work.
Just do the math real quick. He's not only calling me and everybody who doesn't like the movie a monkey. If you're an Indian...
No. And are you about to say something incredibly racist? I think you are. He said, if you're an Indian...
kid, or if you're a black person who said something on Twitter against James Gunn, he thinks you're a monkey. That...
Nobody brought race into it until you did, just now. So imagine this. I'm saying... I'm at a zoo, and I'm saying, hey, look at that monkey. Hey, that's a monkey. Look, that's a monkey. And then, like, there's a kid walking by. Hey, that's a little monkey. Look at that little monkey. You know, like, I mean, some parents call their kids monkey, right? I think Flash's mom called him monkey in the movie. And then, after the fact, you listen to it and you say, like, oh, were they black people? Thus trying to suggest that I'm racist. Because I was referring to just general people as monkeys. It's you who's making the correlation. It's you who's equating certain people to monkeys. Like, that's, why would you feel the need to put that in there? That's a self-report. That's not new information.
The way, for some reason, he just shows up and shows Superman that everybody online trying to cancel Superman, typing angry comments, aren't actually real. They're a big load of monkeys.
So he just said that Lex is terrible and gay. And then this is his explanation. He just said Lex is terrible and gay. That's all he said.
60 minutes. He's in some pocket wormhole universe, and in that universe, Lex Luthor, who is terrible and gay, by the way.
Terrible and gay, by the way.
For some reason, he just shows up and shows Superman that everybody online trying to cancel Superman, typing angry comments, aren't actually real. They're a big load of monkeys.
Nowhere in this at all has there been a mention of race. At this point in the movie, there has not been any mention of race.
Typing at a keyboard. No, that's not a joke. I didn't make that up. James Gunn is saying that everybody hating and review bombing Superman are...
Again, impossible, because you would have had to have seen the movie to review bomb it. Now you're just, I don't know, maybe you're giving your own game away, how you just hate on things without actually watching them.
Monkeys. So let me just do the math real quick. He's not only calling me and everybody who doesn't like the movie a monkey.
That's the end of it. If you're not racist, then this is where it stops for you. This is where your reasoning stops. He's calling me and all of my friends monkeys. Because we don't like the movie that we haven't seen yet. How dare he? It would stop there. But if you're a racist, then you're going to be like, oh, no, look, he's racist. He's racist too. He's racist also. Look at him. He's being racist. Look, he's calling black people monkeys. He's calling black people monkeys. Nobody said anything about black people specifically. Nobody said anything about Indian people specifically. Nobody said anything about equating monkeys to any certain group of people. Only you did, good sir. Only you have done that so far. That means that you're the racist. The call is coming from inside the house.
If you're an Indian kid, or if you're a black person who said something on Twitter against James Gunn, he thinks you're a monkey. That's really not...
This is what I'm saying. This is what I'm saying. That's not what that means. You are injecting race into it. That's what you are doing. You made it about race. Nobody else said anything about that. It's just monkeys on top. The whole thing is a modern update of a literary reference where they say that 100 monkeys on 100 typewriters could write the Magna Carta, or could write. They always put a whatever book in there, important book. The Dead Sea Scrolls, but that it doesn't mean it. It means that trying to plan is an exercise in futility. It means that you are best served by being in the moment and trying to engage with whatever the work is that you're doing. That's really it. I nobody's default was race.
Of not good looks.
Oh,
David Corn Sweat looks about 400 pounds in the terribly made...
He looks good? What do you mean 400 pounds? He's like 6'2". Right? No, I think he's a little heavier, or not heavier. He's a little taller than that. I think maybe like, because I'm 6'3", 6'4", something like that. I think he's about my height. But 400 pounds? I'm overweight, and I just barely border on like 260, 265, something like that. What was that sound? I think that was my pup. I don't know. 400 pounds. My God.
Suit. There's kids all over this movie. Why do you ask? Because it's a James Gunn production. And we'll just pretend like this guy isn't a freak. Every single person in Metropolis is Indian and play really big parts in the movie.
What? So it's all just rage bait.
It's James Gunn. He thinks you're a monkey.
I cannot believe that this isn't just rage bait. Like, I don't think that there's no substance to this. He's just saying, like, Lex Luthor happens to be terrible and gay for some reason. He just comes in and shows that there's monkeys hating on Superman, so that he considers anybody who doesn't like his stuff, Superman movie, a monkey, which also means that he's racist because the black people might watch the movie. There's no substance there.
Really not a good look. And speaking of not good looks, David Corn Sweat looks about 400 pounds in the terribly made suit. There's kids all over this movie.
And he just goes from point to point. He doesn't actually explain anything. He just goes from point to point. And the next one he's making is that James Gunn's a PDF file. Like, what? Have there ever been any accusations? I don't think there have. Has he showed up on the Epstein files that I didn't know about? What's up, Zochaib? How's it going?
Why do you ask? Because it's a James Gunn production. And we'll just pretend
What?
like this guy isn't a freak. Every single person in Metropolis...
Okay, now he's about to say every single person in Metropolis is Indian.
Every single person...
Huh. I don't know. Let's see, I see white person, white person, white person, white person, white person, black person, white person, black person. Did I say white? Middle Eastern. You don't even know if they're East Indian. White person, white person, white person. Every single person in Metropolis is Indian. This is why I think this is just rage bait. I don't think he actually saw the movie. He's just putting moments from the trailer in here. I fixed that plug socket with the power on and no gloves, but hey, I'm still alive. Well, if you weren't, I'd be pretty scared that you were here. Because then you'd be a ghost. You'd be a spooky spirit floating through the ether, manipulating a keyboard, going clickety-clack, tippity-tap with your ghostly fingers. Ben Shapiro doesn't know shit. Lex Luthor only hates Superman because he's better than him. He's explained it many times in so many verbose words in the comics, but he's just jealous. He just hates Superman because he's better than him, because he will never be as good as Superman. I think even in DC KO, he admitted to Superman that I hate you because you're so good, because I'll never be like you. And then that was like his whole like thing, you know, he made his form to be more strong than Superman or whatever. It's such a weird claim. You can't actually have read comic books if you're gonna say
Metropolis is Indian.
that Lex Luthor
really
was
big
right.
parts in the movie, like some random Indian convenience store worker or something comes up and just says something to Superman and ends up in the plot of the movie. The dude is the linchpin of the entire movie somehow. Some random.
They explain this. The people up in the command center, while they're watching all this happen, are talking about, get that guy. You know, like, I want you to investigate that guy. And, like, they were like, who is that helping him? And they're like, who is that helping him? And I don't know. It's really just like they want people to use as, threats against him. Like, they think that he's just going to cave. You alone in 10 minutes of content has more knowledge than all of Ben Shapiro and his fans. Well, that's not saying much. They're not a very educated bunch. If you're going to get swindled by a person selling supplements or faith, then you're probably not going to be very smart or educated.
Hawko vendor. Forget what everybody is telling you, saying that Man of Steel and every other superhero.
But yeah, so they're in the command center, which is how I can tell that this guy didn't even see the movie. They're in a command center and they're like doing a survey of all the shit that's going on because they're trying to examine all of Superman's moves so that they can inject the knowledge into his clone. That's why he's saying like B14, H5, 420, 69. It's because he's he's saying the procedures of the shit that they recorded from Superman to counter the fighting moves that he uses. If anything, to me, one of the stupidest parts of the movie is when the guy next to Lex is like giving the exposition about the clone, who we don't know is a clone yet. He's like, we taught him all kinds of fighting moves. To me, or it's like, watch these fight moves or something like that. To me, that sounded so corny and dumb. I was like, wow, that really should have hit the editing room floor. Jesus fucking Christ. This guy looks like a younger version of Grima Wormtongue. Who is that actor? He's Brad Dourif? Was that Brad Dourif? I don't think it was... Was it Brad Dourif? Actor. Yeah, it was Brad Dourif. Oh man, my memory's good. I'm good, dude.
Movie is dark and gritty, and this one is hopeful and full of
Hey,
joy.
I eat my
Let's
veggies.
cut
How's
out
it
the
going?
politics for a second.
Welcome back.
This is a disgrace to making
Good to
movies
see
in
you.
general. People talk about how bad Deadpool and Wolverine was. It had no story. It was just cameos for the entire thing. This is the exact same and 10 times worse. I'm not overreacting.
Yeah, it's Brad Dourif. He's the same guy who voiced Chucky in the Child's Play movies. I know a good amount about horror movies. Hang on, I'm texting my wife real quick. You should have no problem with someone who loves you promoting your work. she's mad at me. So she's big on the internet. She's what you would call internet famous, my wife. Of course, I'm proud of her. But we're going to be moving soon, and we have to, like, try to find jobs when we're moving down south. And I think it would be one of the... Brad Durr's phone number? Yeah, I'm going to call him up real quick. I just want to make sure. Hey, were you that guy in Lord of the Rings? Oh, yeah, man. I was also in Child's Play. But, yeah, so she hates when people promote her. And have you ever been on the local news? Me? No. Why would I be on the local news? That would mean I was either arrested or killed. I want to say no. Because you should be tagging people. But also because you should have no problem with someone who loves you promoting your work. I won't do it like that, but it would be weird of you to get mad at me being proud of you and wanting you to friggin' succeed. Sorry if that upsets you. There we go. So she's big on the internet, and she's a horror movie clip maker. She makes clips of horror movies, And she just picks some really good moments from some really good movies. And I tagged... So she's got like 30, 40 some odd followers on Instagram. And like she deserves success. Like she absolutely deserves to succeed on that platform. And you can actually start like monetizing yourself around then. And she just isn't taking any action on that. And I'm not going to like push her into it, but I will use whatever platform I can to promote her work. And that means commenting sometimes on her posts and sharing them with tagging the people who have the power to sponsor her, like Shudder and A24 and all that kind of shit. 30 some odd thousand people see her work every day. And then millions of people over however the length of it showing up in algorithms is. And she doesn't like me sharing it with companies that have probably already seen it. That's just, it's a self-conscious thing.
This movie doesn't have a plot. It has no story.
It's all good.
It has barely
In the
any
end,
redeeming elements. People
she'll
make
be
fun of it
happier
all the
because
time. The
she'll be
American acting
in
legend,
contact with
Kevin
people who can
Costner,
actually
who played Superman's
push her
dad
brand
in Man
forward.
of Steel. And people are actually saying that these two random spastics that they have in Superman 2025.
Oh, you mean just normal people? That's what James Gunn specifically said, that he just wanted to portray Martha and Pa Kent as just normal, average fucking people. His whole thing was humanizing Superman. That's the whole that's a whole thing about this entire movie, was making everyone realize that Superman is just another person, just like anybody else, with feelings and desires and shit like that. That's the depth. And one could argue that that's bad, because it feels really shallow. It feels like the same portrayal time and time again, that would be a fine argument. That would be okay. It wouldn't be it's like nobody gives a shit about that. Whatever. You know? But he didn't do that. I don't really know what I'm doing game-wise here. Oh, no, yes I do. Ha-ha! We did it.
Of it. This movie doesn't have a plot. It has no story. It has barely any redeeming elements. People make fun of it all the time. The American acting legend Kevin Costner, who played Superman's dad in Man of Steel. And people are actually saying that these two random spastics...
Oh yeah, no problem. So hey, see you later.
...that they have in Superman 2025 is somehow better. Watch the movie and tell me that his two parents aren't extremely retarded. Why are they two backwards rednecks? Who I do...
You see what I mean? He says these words because they're offensive. Like he's not saying it for any specific purpose, just to be offensive. Which, I mean, hey, slay queen, you know, do what you want, but it's not going to get you,
the only few things I can think of,
you know,
that are
a good reputation.
passable,
and word of mouth
Lois
is still
Lane's
king.
Guy Gardner, which was funny because the dude was just a douchebag. And Lois Lane and Clark Kent weren't really that bad, except for when Clark had an autistic meltdown and his voice went so high-pitched, like some little bitch. And Lois Lane goes off on a monologue about fake punk rock. Superman is sipping cocoa and crying his eyes out for the entire movie. And we see here...
Didn't cry his eyes out. I'm not sure why you would just... I mean, he's made up stuff this entire time. It's clear you didn't watch it. It is absolutely very clear that he just did not watch it. And, God, that's really... I mean, what more can you say? You know, like... I don't know. She was like, "Oh my God!" Now that I know she's not mad, or she's probably still mad, but she's giving in anyway. Now that I know it, I can share the whole thing. So she can monetize her platform. She could be making sponsorship money right now, mostly through like affiliate ads and shit like that. But she could still be making money. Like she could be making hundreds of dollars a week, which would definitely make the impact a lot less when we move down south. And the only reason she's not doing it is because she doesn't think she'll succeed. And I love her so much, because she's my wife, that I want her to succeed, whether she wants me to or not. And I'm going to do shit that helps that. And if that means tagging people on Instagram when I'm proud of something that she posts, I'm going to fucking do it. I'm going to fucking do it. You better believe I'm going to fucking do it. And that just tells me that, like, one of the people either reached out or liked the comment or something. I'm gonna get to the bottom of this here. Investigation. No, people just reposted my post. Okay, fine. Whatever. Hey, Cynical, what's up? People are gonna, you know what? People are gonna know the name of my wife, and they're gonna be like, I remember when that person was just posting on Instagram to whatever number of viewers, or followers. 36, 37,000, something like that. And she gets, let's see, let me see. How many likes does she get? She gets like a ton of engagement too. Let me just pull up her profile real quick. So yeah, 168 likes, 3 comments, 6 reposts, and 30 messages? Or 30, is that when they send it to someone? She gets a ton of engagement. But this would be the point where she could potentially, like, she has 1,000 posts, just about to hit 1,000 posts, and she's at almost 35,000 followers. Crazy growth for a single channel on a single platform. Crazy growth. She tried posting on TikTok, but she gets hit with the sensitive content warning all the time. But yeah, so like I tagged Shudder, I tagged A24, I tagged Diana Prince, who is Darcy the Mail Girl. I tagged Joe Bob. And I said, why are you guys not sponsoring this girl already? Not exactly. I didn't exactly say that. But I said something similar. I was like, man. That's what I said. I said, man.
We're going to be getting spin-offs with Mr. Terrific and Jimmy Olsen. These people weren't scene stealers like people are going to try to tell you online. Mr. Terrific was some black dude who had some ridiculously caricature accent of like a preacher down south. And also, he had more screen...
I'm sorry? A Baptist preacher is like... I'm about to come in here. I'm about to talk about Jesus. About to talk about Jesus. About to let the whole power wash them. I'm about to behold the power wash them. Hey, talk about Jesus. Talk about hallelujah. Talk about hallelujah. Talk about hallelujah. That's a fucking Southern Baptist preacher. That is not what Mr. Terrific sounded like. By any means. That is not what he sounded like. Now, Cynical, I don't know what you know about my history with churches, but I came up mostly in black churches because those are the best fucking churches, just so you know. If you're religious, I mean. I wasn't. I really like the vibe at black churches. Don't know why. I grew up in a black community, but I wouldn't consider myself, like, you know, I don't want to, like, was it culturally appropriate, you know?
Screen time than Superman. And the same goes for Jimmy Olsen, who was acting really weird throughout the entire movie. Like, all these girls wanted to go out with.
It was just a fun little character design for Jimmy, for him to be such eye candy for the ladies. I guarantee you it was the actor who probably came up with that element. He's been all sorts of different types of guys in the comics. I don't think you can really criticize Jimmy for being any one way, because he's been pretty much every way.
And the dude was just acting gay, like he didn't want any part in it. Oh yeah.
I mean, it's just when you use those words as an insult. Like, it just seems like that's what this guy's identity is just using controversial words as insults to try and get rises out of people. I can tell you Bruce Dickinson would hate the fuck out of this guy. I know, because I've met him. Sorry. Let me just drop some names real quick for you. But Bruce Dickinson would fucking hate this guy. He's about as progressive as it gets. And then he had, oh yeah. Hey RPP, how's it going? You should hear when he says something about Lex. What is it? He says like, Lex is terrible and gay.
It's not
No,
rage,
not
man.
Alexa,
He doesn't
cancel.
get up off of the ground for a full 60 minutes. He's in some pocket wormhole universe.
Right here.
And in that universe, Lex Luthor, who is terrible and gay, by the way, for some...
What? What? Where is this coming from? Where does he establish his sexuality at any point other than straight? Because he has a girlfriend who's with him the whole time. What? Where does he get that? Where is there any indication?
There's kids all over this movie. Why do you ask? Because it's a James Gunn production. And we'll just pretend like this guy isn't a freak. Every single...
And then he's calling James Gunn a PDF file. My God. My God.
Some ridiculously caricature accent of like a preacher down south. And also, he had more screen time than Superman. And the same goes for Jimmy Olsen, who was acting really weird throughout the entire movie. Like, all these girls wanted to go out with him, and the dude was just acting gay. Like, he didn't want any part of it. Oh yeah, and he also had more screen time than Superman. And James Gunn and DC are...
God forbid you be a ginger and have to see Jimmy Olsen on screen getting ass thrown at him left and right. Imagine being this, waking up in the morning and looking at the screen and seeing Jimmy Olsen just fucking slaying, just pulling. I would be mad at him too, I guess, if I was that insecure.
talking here about how they're going to be making tons of new TV shows and movies, bringing together the Justice League. I don't know how anybody...
A grifter, yes, but that I think necessitates existence. So he does exist, but I don't think he exists in good faith.
You could be excited for this after watching Superman. The Hall of Justice was Guy Gardner, Mr. Terrific, and Hawkgirl sitting around in a massive empty room. And you see some handicap here. Don't let anybody tell you nobody cares about Superman. Are you blind? I just showed you 20 reviews from massive news sources that all just said it was a 2 out of 5. This isn't The Dark Knight. This isn't Iron Man. It isn't even Man of Steel.
But not for any of the reasons that he's saying. Not for any of those reasons. They said the writing was all over the place. They said the CG was bad. They said that they tried to fit too much into too small a space. Those are all totally cogent points. I agree with some of them. But not... Clark is not autistic. There are not lesbian girl bosses everywhere. Guy Gardner isn't the only good character. His voice is not high-pitched. He doesn't spend 60 consecutive minutes on the ground. Crypto's not terrible. He's just a fucking dog with superpowers. God, like, Lex is not gay. Oh my gosh.
And it definitely isn't Christopher Reeve in Superman the movie. This isn't even an 8 out of 10. It's like, I don't know, a 1 out of 10. This isn't the movie.
I'm guessing you hate
of
that one
CGI
too?
for 2 hours. And this story just came out that Ta-Nehisi Coates was going to make a black Superman movie. And it actually got cancelled because they realized that it was too woke. Nobody wants to watch some civil rights activist, black race-swapped Superman. But at the end...
There are many factors that might play into that. It could be because the proposed filmmaker might be, like, too biased towards being anti-certain, being anti-racist or being anti, which is fine. It's a great stance to have, but that may inject itself into their work too often, and that would be a reasonable complaint for a studio executive to have if he wants to try and make money, especially with how volatile the political landscape is. But it doesn't mean anything about this movie. He's talking about the script for the President Superman movie because he's President Superman. He's political. The movie would have to be specifically political. There's no way to go around that when you have President fucking Superman, who is I used to know Mon-El. No, is it Mon-El? I have to look it up. I I was hoping I could just remember. It is not Mon-El. Mon-El is Kara's Daxamite Explorer. Oh. He was given powers. It originated from another planet. Okay, then which one? Valzad. No, it's not. That's not. It's not Valzad. It is Valzad. I second guessed myself. Sorry. It's Valzad. Valzad is President Superman. That's right. I can remember stuff about comic books, even though they're woke and gay. Why does my camera look cloudy? Right? You notice that? It looks kind of cloudy. Needs the touch of a microfiber cloth, methinks. But that's not going to happen right now.
As a little caveat, James Gunn will still probably make the movie in the future. Who wants that? I don't even want David Corn Sweat Superman. That was the non-woke version. Movie with the two warring factions and countries that definitely don't represent a certain conflict in the Middle East that's happening right now. Don't try to tell me that this movie isn't woke or not political. If you think that, go screw yourself. It is. The entire movie is about Trump, immigrants, and as I just mentioned, other conflicts in other countries. I really don't know what I'm missing here. This movie was the biggest heap of shit I've ever watched. At first I found it funny to just laugh at it from...
Wait, did you just skip to the end? Did he just sum it up again? You know what? Holy shit, I think I figured it out. I think I know exactly what he's doing. He's got a script that he's reading so that he can break all this up into shorts. I bet you anything. I bet you that's exactly what this guy's doing. Let's see. Okay, he doesn't have shorts. Maybe he's on TikTok?
The trailers, but watching
okay.
it was just so bad I couldn't even believe it. How did a movie like this ever get greenlit? So much focus on comedy and random dogs banging into people and
random dogs? Crypto attacks Superman, and I don't think there are any other Kryptonian canines in the movie, and a few other people, but comparatively. Oh no, he hasn't seen the movie because I think this is the extent of his review. I don't think he's gonna talk about the end of the movie at all.
Superman. But at the end, as a little caveat, James Gunn will still probably make the movie in the future. Who wants that? I don't even want David Corn...
After this racist diatribe, he goes on to the next part
Superman.
of it.
That was the non-woke version. Movie with the two warring factions and countries that definitely don't represent a certain conflict in the Middle East that's...
There's always wars happening. I don't know where do you fucking live, dude? Like, there's wars always there's always a conflict somewhere. Like, and it's two fictional nations. Like, what? Why are you equating the two? Just because he thinks that Lex is an analog for Trump, specifically. But if you're noticing the parallels, then perhaps maybe you should question the political leaders that you support.
Happening right now. Don't try to tell me that this movie isn't woke or not political.
If you think they're
negative.
negative.
If you think that, go screw yourself. It is. The entire movie is about Trump, immigrants, and as I just mentioned, other conflicts in other countries. I really don't know what I'm missing here. This movie was the biggest heap of shit I've ever watched. At first I found it funny to just laugh at it.
When has Superman, or really any comic, not referenced tropical conflicts? I know! So my point to this whole thing, the thing that I think is just really crazy to see, is the complete disregard for the fact that comics have always been woke and gay. If you're going to use gay as a descriptor for a certain type of activism, they've always been woke and gay. Well, yeah. Oh my god, I have such crazy hyperhidrosis right now. Ay.
from the trailers, but watching it, it was just so bad I couldn't even believe it. How did a movie like this ever get greenlit? So much focus on comedy and random dogs banging into people and
not random dogs. It is Superman and Supergirl's dog. It is their dog.
Superman whining and screaming and crying. This is beyond Marvel humor.
Oh, you mean like human emotions? Like how people actually feel things in the real world? Like how, people have arguments and raise their voices?
I don't think anybody could excuse this. Superman is an objectively terrible movie. If you're a movie critic, or you
objectively is not meaning what you think it means here. You mean subjectively.
consider yourself anti-woke.
What you mean to say is my opinion is that Superman is a very terrible movie.
And you're saying that this movie is just okay. It's not even that bad. It's not even woke. I don't know what's wrong with you up here, but you need to wake up. Quality was just non-existent with James Gunn's Superman. Do not watch this movie. Do not take your kids to go see it. It's filled with a big load of unnecessary cursing and political agenda. They spent
Cursing? I don't think I heard one fuck in the entire movie. Cursing? What? Unnecessary cursing?
even woke. I don't know what's wrong with you up here, but you need to wake up. Quality was just non-existent with James Gunn's Superman. Do not watch this movie. Do not take your kids to go see it. It's filled with a big load of unnecessary cursing and political agenda. They spent
there is a political struggle in the movie, and Lex, like, very specifically is supposed to be influencing those politics. So, I mean, yeah, it's going to have some political agendas in it. That's literally the plot of the movie. He seems like AI.
20 minutes of the movie talking about Superman's harem. What the hell? Who wrote that in the script? So Superman's original
I mean, it's a joke.
parents and Krypton just goes straight out the window. Spoiler alert.
Because we've seen that in like 8 other movies. There's really there was a television show called Krypton. There's no reason for us to keep rehashing that shit. Just like Marvel didn't show Spider-Man's origin for the 7th fucking time.
Sorry to break it to you, but his parents are just evil for some reason. And then his fake parents down on Earth are 2 handicaps. The peak of this movie is
oh shit! You see what I'm saying? Like, he just says buzzwords. He's just saying buzzword after buzzword after buzzword. They're just 2 handicaps. What the fuck? How has this channel not been banned yet?
the window. Spoiler alert, sorry to break it to you, but his parents are just evil for some reason. And then his fake parents down on Earth are 2 handicaps. The peak of this movie is Superman.
Oh my god.
Flying into Lex Luthor's office and crying to him. And then Superman's dog knocks Lex Luthor up.
Crying. Well, no, he makes a speech. He says, "I'm as human as you are." It's the culmination of everything that they've been arguing about the entire movie. It is the culmination of the hero's journey. It's the climax of the movie. And he's given the bad guy the talking to that you would see in the comic books.
Over. That's every single scene. It ends with somebody getting
But I'm sorry. This guy actually also believes that comics are woke and gay as well.
over some cutaway to a Marvel humor joke or a cute little dog that we're all supposed to find funny. And at the end of the movie, Supergirl shows up and calls Superman a bitch and then gets knocked over by a dog. I couldn't make this any more funny even if I wanted to, and it still has all the touches of a James Gunn disaster. The volume.
So he touched a little bit on my actual gripe with the movie, which is that it felt too much like a James Gunn production. And I mean, he also couldn't possibly actually like Iron Maiden. Well, that's why I said Bruce Dickinson would fucking hate this guy. My actual criticism of it is that it was too much like every other James Gunn thing. And people actually like that, and I don't mind that. People like that formula. They like the hero's journey the way that it's designed. But I actually also liked the way that the hero movies were evolving and getting darker and getting more brooding. I liked that too. I also like the faithful comic adaptations that, the Suicide Squad and things like that. I can overlook the James Gunn formula because the rest of the movie is good. Because I still get to see one of my favorite heroes, and let's face it, all of the heroes are my favorite heroes. but I get to see one of my favorite heroes on the big screen. When I was a kid, I grew up wanting that so bad and never having been able to see it until I was like, you know, over 10 years old. And so it was almost too late to enjoy it. You know, like it was, or I think I was 14 when one of the first, like, when did Spider-Man come out? Was that 92? Oh, no, it was 2002. So I was smack dab into my goth phase, I think. To be honest, I'm slow. I don't even read books. I don't read very many books. I read, like, science books and cookbooks. That doesn't make me sound very cool, does it? But Batman was 1990, I think. But yeah, there were very little, like, hero-centric comic book movies where you actually got to see your heroes on screen. And so for the longest time, I was just really appreciative of that. Hey, Neo Slinky, how's it going? Batman vs. Superman is underrated. So I think it was just kind of a perfect storm of like a lot of different voices at the time being equally as loud. And you had people who were tired of the superhero movies. You had people who hadn't seen enough comic accurate superhero movies to know that it was hard to do with the technology that we had back then. And then you have, because they did try. They did. The first couple Batmans, they tried. It wasn't very good because they ended up looking like the 60s version. Angel. I haven't seen a book since first grade. Okay, where are you? Are you messaging me from the jungle? I wouldn't be upset if you were. I just need to know for science.
Human piece of shit, James Gunn and his brother both came out before this movie just a couple of days ago and were laughing and sneering at everybody.
It is exactly what the movie is about, I think, that, like, we support our people, you know? We love our immigrants. Yes, Superman is an immigrant. And yes, if you don't like that, then you're not American.
You said it's an immigrant story. It's a political movie. MAGA today is going nuts. What do you have to say to MAGA?
I don't have anything. I think this movie's for...
I'm in New Jersey. Yeah, let's see where I'm at around 5 o'clock. Because I just have to do my bullshit. Not bullshit. I have to do the stuff that reminds me how much I love my wife by cooking her dinner. But yeah, I'll be around after around 5, I think. So if you're still on, I'll be down to do character shit. I'm in New Jersey. Angel, where are you not seeing books? There's plenty of books in New Jersey. You can probably pick one up while you're going to grab a ripper. That's right, I know about rippers. I'm also down to play something if you want. Yeah, sure. We shall see. Yeah, like I said, check in with me around 5 my time, and then we will. And I'll just probably be on for the rest of the evening, which, you know, for me is typically only a couple hours, but still, that's some downtime, and some downtime is better than no downtime.
Everybody, I don't have anything to say to anybody. Like, I'm not here. MAGA today was getting a little upset that he called Superman an immigrant. I wanted to get...
So the only thing that this guy seems to have a problem with in these scenes is that they're saying that we promote immigration, we like our immigrants and all this kind of stuff. That's it. Like,
Wouldn't make this any more funny even if I wanted to, and it still has all the touches.
This is
of
the
a
second
James
time he
Gunn
said that.
disaster. The vile human piece of shit, James Gunn and his brother both came out before this movie just a couple of days ago and were laughing and sneering at everybody.
The volume and piece of shit. His script is definitely written by AI. Definitely written by AI. I actually haven't played BF6 recently. I have wanted to, so if you want to jump into that one tonight, then that would be cool too. I'm into doing that. Can't speak though for some reason. This commentary kid wants to be critical drinker so bad, just looks like a greasy hack with poor vocabulary. He's really just repeating the same things over and over and over again. He's not making any points. He's just kind of repeating like, woken gay, woken gay, woken gay. That's pretty much it. Everyone in Metropolis is Indian. These people are racist. These people are pedos. You know, it's just pretty much the entire thing. Batman vs. Superman Extended Cut provides a better experience. It is my preferred version. And I do prefer the Snyder Cut for Justice League, even though, oh man, it's a slog. It is a slow movie, full of good comic book stuff, but it is a slow movie. I think it's like 4 hours for the Snyder Cut, right? Like 4 hours, 4.5 hours, something like that.
It's exactly what the movie is about, I think, that like we support our people, you know? We love our immigrants.
Well, yeah, I think the thing about Critical Drinker is that he says stuff about wokeism, but he actually attaches it to good points, like and not necessarily all the time. I mean, I think a lot of it is very surface level, but he points to nuance. He points to the things that people want you to see as part of the cultural divide. This guy is just calling characters gay for no reason. He said that there's lesbian girl bosses everywhere, and that everyone in Metropolis is Indian. He's just saying
Superman is an immigrant, and
wild
yes,
shit,
if you don't
I
like
think,
that,
just to
then
get a
you're
rise
not
out of
American.
people.
You said it's an immigrant story. It's a political movie. MAGA today is going nuts. What do you have to say to MAGA? I don't have anything. I think this movie's for everybody. I don't have anything to say to.
See, and his response is directly to the MAGA crowd. It has nothing to do with like, hey, so what are the themes in this movie? Well, he would say, oh, the themes are like, you know, togetherness, overcoming adverse odds, you know, becoming the hero that you were meant to be, even understanding that you maybe were meant for a different purpose, but you were able to define your purpose through perseverance and sheer will alone, which is the hallmark of fucking Superman, by the way, Mr. fucking Ranting for Vengeance. If you've ever read a goddamn comic book.
MAGA today is so upset that he called Superman an immigrant. I wanted to get your reaction.
Somebody needs a hug.
It's not review bombing.
So what about that statement was wrong? The only thing he's criticizing is the guy laughing. That's the Nathan Fillion's statement was fine. The question was fine. Had nothing, like, it was just like there was no substance there. He just wanted to mock the way that a guy was laughing.
It's not Snyder cult. I do not care about Zack Snyder's Man of Steel. The dude is a terrible movie maker as well, but 10 trillion times better than...
Yeah, I mean, billions and billions and billions. I think he held the highest grossing movie title at one point. So sure, he's a shitty filmmaker. Absolutely. Just like Christopher Nolan's a shitty filmmaker.
James Gunn. Stop coping and saying that James Gunn is a great filmmaker. I've watched
Maybe they would stop telling you that if you would stop pronouncing film.
most of the guy's movies. Not one of them is good. Endless needle drops with crappy music and Marvel humor does not make a good movie. This is not a new era of hope for the...
Now that's actually a point. That is actually a point that people can make. That's the only point that he's made so far. Other than to say that it's like, what is it? He said it was too busy. Sure. That's a fine criticism. Lex Luthor was the weakest point in Batman vs. Superman. Such a weird character. I like that they made him like a Zuckerberg kind of guy. They were just trying to update it. And they failed, obviously. Like, people didn't... 2 artifacts. Yeah, worth it. Okay, that not so worth it. We didn't do a pyre build. I mean, I guess that's fine. Means I'm gonna have to invest in the top floor for some reason.
superhero. This is the end. If this is the best you can come up with, I don't even know if you could call this filmmaking. I don't consider myself a critic. I'm not some pretentious douchebag who's gonna sit here and say that, oh, they didn't have the right...
Did he really just say, I'm not some pretentious douchebag? Hold on.
critic. I'm not some pretentious douchebag who's...
Wait. Hold on.
consider myself a critic. I'm not some pretentious douchebag who's...
Wait. Hang on.
I don't even know if you could call this filmmaking. I don't consider myself a critic. I'm not some pretentious douchebag who's gonna...
Whoa. I don't consider myself a critic. Hang on.
I don't even know if you could call this filmmaking. I don't consider myself a critic. I'm not some pretentious douchebag who's gonna sit here and say that, oh, they didn't have the right camera work.
Did we get the right channel? Did we get the right channel? A lot of these seem like opinions. Let's see, how many videos do you have? 120 videos. A lot of these sound like opinions. Scott Snyder and woke mob fail to cancel me. Go complain to your boyfriend. A lot of this seems to be... Oh, for Christ's sake. A lot of this just, seems to be opinions. So, criticisms, right? Criticisms of artistic work, perhaps. Not a pretentious douchebag. Well, let's see. You use a lot of slurs. You call everything woke, garbage, have some kind of masculine muscle fantasy, I guess. Chris Claremont must have been your favorite era of comic books. Seems like you have a problem with gay people. So you're right. Maybe you're not pretentious. Maybe you're just really dumb. I don't know. Man of Steel is a solid movie. The villains are so good in that movie. Fuck yeah, they are.
Or the correct way of writing
Zod's
a movie.
so
to
good.
be honest, this movie had no structure, and it was shot terribly. It's not like Sam Raimi's Spider-Man one bit, and everybody who says that needs to go screw themselves. Sam Raimi's Spider-Man is the example of what this should have been. This movie is not comic booky. There isn't one comic book.
I mean, I think a lot of people... So just like what I always tend to say when someone says, oh, I love the Beatles. It's like, or ask if I like the Beatles, I guess. I don't like the Beatles. I don't like listening to the Beatles. I can appreciate their influence on music. I can appreciate their influence on culture. I can say that I respect the platform that they had when they had it. But I am not a fan of their music. I know that their music is technically good. I know that it is practically good. I know that it is loved by enough of civilization that we could even consider it objectively good. But it is still a piece of art, and it is still something that is subjective to people's own opinions. I just don't happen to vibe with the music. And like I think that I get sometimes a weird look by people who are like, "Oh, well, you seem like you're into music because we'll discuss bands all day long." And I'm like, I'm just not a fan of the Beatles. I don't like a lot of music that you hear in popular things because I have one of those brains where the second I hear something catchy, it plays over and over in my head until I'm fucking tired of it. And so Help, Long Day's Night, Hard Day's Night, like all the shit that you hear just in commercials and in TV stuff growing up, that shit plays on repeat in my head over and over and over again until I'm like actually physically fucking tired of it. So like, yeah, so I basically was convinced by the Beatles to hate the Beatles. But yeah, I just don't like their music. Like I never really have. I think it's possible. Two things are possible as long as they're not diametrically opposed, right? I mean, I guess if you want to be controversial, you can believe in things that are diametrically opposed. Like I actually have a fiscally conservative operational method when I'm doing business, but that's because you kind of need to be that way in order to successfully do business. You don't make money without taking advantage of somewhere along the road somehow. So if you try to reduce that as much as possible, then you can mitigate a lot of the negatives that come with it, is I guess my point. If you wanted a little bit of a business tip, it helps to be a tiny bit similar to a psychopath or narcissist. Because if you look at yourself and you look at your business and you look at what you need to succeed, a lot of that is going to involve considering other people less. And I don't mean exploiting workers or like cutting corners of safety and things like that. I don't mean anything like that. I mean, like, you know, one of your workers may work more hours than you do. Your staff may make less than you. Your car may be better than your dishwashers. Things that are normal but could make someone feel guilt or shame. If you feel less guilt or shame about that kind of stuff, you're probably better designed to succeed. And it's kind of like this. Sorry to get off on a tangent here, but God damn it, I feel like ranting, okay? Here's my rant, all right, about why people idolize figures, or about how shitty it is for people to idolize figures like Homelander and the Punisher and all these things. They are heroes because they are willing to take the sacrifice of being hated by society, of being ostracized, and of being the one that has to take on the burden of somebody else's death. That's not cool. That's a sacrifice that they're making. That's tragic, if anything. And so, like, to see them as motivational or inspirational figures is exactly the opposite of what they want. They want you to hate them. That's why they're called anti-heroes, because they are anti-heroes. The thing that separates a hero and a villain, who knows this quote and who can quote it? If you can quote it, I'll give you a bajillion internet points. Who knows this quote, okay? The only difference between a hero and a villain is the willingness to kill. I'll say it again. The only difference between a hero and a villain is the willingness to kill. And I believe there was another hero in a similar vein who said, yes, the lady Kryptonian, fucking badass. And she fought that dude with the knife. Like he was ready to just go fucking throw hands. Stabler from SVU. But he also said, or there was another quote where he was like, we don't kill, that's what makes you a villain. I think that's, another thing. I'm pretty sure it was either Superman or Batman who said it. But they were talking to a young hero who was having a crisis of faith at the moment. And they were like, the only difference between a hero and a villain is the willingness to kill. And it's kind of like the telling the Flash, all that matters is you just save one life. If you can save one life, then you will make whoever proud. You'll make your dad proud, or you'll make your mom proud, or you make your family proud, whatever. Save one life. I mean, I think saving more lives is proportionally going to give you a bit more glory than just saving one life. But you know what? Every life is precious, right? It makes you a hero regardless.
Where Superman gets his ass kicked by a dog, starts crying, then gets called a bitch to his face. It's not accurate to any comic book, it's just goofy and stupid and retarded. So finally, for the last time, do not watch Superman. It's genuinely, truthfully, sincerely one of the worst things I've ever seen. And if you're a real fan that already knew that, then thanks for watching and maybe consider subscribing. And if you're one of those woke retards who liked it, stick it up your ass. Go complain to your boyfriend.
So, my verdict is that it is just controversy for controversy's sake. I think he's just trying to get views, because I'm going to go out on a limb and I'm going to say that his older stuff is probably nothing like this. Let's see his oldest video.
I'm not lying. Listen to it. It's Elmo. Early bands who kind of pioneered thrash metal do kick ass. This includes bands like Motorhead, Venom, Mercy.
Here he's just sharing his love for thrash metal, or speed metal over thrash metal. Batman must be vegan, the no-kill rule. Well, I'm sure somebody at some point has brought that point up about him with plants, but I don't know what the verdict was on that.
Fate. You could say Bathory. Then came along the 90s, creating a wave of posers and real gays like Kurt Cobain, Lane Staley, bringing rap into metal.
Okay, well, see, he clearly just uses gay as an insult, and maybe that's just what he's done his entire life.
Rap is for black people, undeniably.
Okay, no, he's always... All right. He's always been like this. Perhaps he deleted the stuff that that wasn't, but it seems like you're just kind of rotten to the core, my friend. My God. Lethal Weapon, a noir 80s action masterpiece. I'm going to say probably not noir at the end of that era, or at least right outside of that era. Definitely not that sort of that feel.
So the unhinged
It is a straight up just action schlock. And I think McTiernan himself would probably describe it that way. He would not. I think what he did was he hears saxophone, and he's like, "That's noir." Yeah, exactly. But no, that's that's just not. That's not anything. No, this is supposed to be not copyrighted music. I mean, we have the music on here from the actual game itself, so it's not like there's nothing. I like that bossa nova stuff we had other day. I don't want it to be bluegrass. Get out of here, bluegrass. Blueback? Fuck is a blueback? I am still losing my voice. I wish it weren't. I can show you how to split your audio so your VODs don't have the music you play in them and stuff if you don't know. I did set it up at some point to be like that. To be like that. But I am falling very fast from the well of technological knowledge as time moves on. I think I used a VB virtual sound cable, and then I split the channels or added an audio source. Whatever the case may be, I was able to do it before, but man, it's such a well. If the way that you could show me be easier, then I'm down to do it. It's just so obnoxious. I had to like reverse engineer the process like a million times just to make it work, and it's
fake
obnoxious.
comic book fans are back, and this time they're disrespecting comic book legends. And I gotta be honest, I was deciding whether or not I should actually make this video, but it's retards like
Nope. I'm gonna go out on a limb and say you should probably never make another video again. And if you do, perhaps leave all those words out. You know? Maybe just consider doing that. Maybe consider leaving all the hateful words out. I think maybe you'd have a better audience. We'll move the we'll move this. We'll make my face bigger. His face shouldn't be bigger anyway. Or no, it's not above the browser. Damn it! There we go. You get to be in a little pocket on the bottom of the screen. How do you like that? You like them apples? I gotta put this below the... Nope, nope, up, 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 up. Yeah, I'm guessing he's just really sad. You know? Just has not a friend in the world. And is just like really sad. You seem so sad. Is there a reason you're very sad? What kinds of things make you sad? Could you tell me what makes you sad? Poor guy. Where's the chat overlay? Why is it not displaying any Chads? Chad, why? Maybe he'll change someday if he's around the right people. Yeah. Environment counts for a lot. I would wager that that is a good assessment. Yeah, I mean, fuck, man. People, but basically the OBS plugin lets you control which software to deliver audio to OBS for you, so don't use desktop audio as a source. Yeah, that would work. That would just about do it. Okay. Yeah, so it's doing the same thing that a virtual audio cable would be doing.
Like this that deserve
Same
to be called out.
stuff.
But before we get into it, if you like
Stuff.
the channel and if you agree with anything I say, maybe consider subscribing or becoming a patron. So this is just another story of tourist fake comic book fans, and wouldn't you know it, it ties back to absolute Batman. So I've already stopped keeping.
So you see what I mean? Like, there is a grift. There is a bit of a grift. And it comes in the form of his Patreon. So, you know, obviously, if you're going to make content like this and you're going to get engagement from all the hate people are going to throw your way, it's going to give you an incentive to be both more controversial, to ramp it up a bit, especially if people want to see it more extreme and more, like, you know, offensive, then they're going to do that, and it's just going to be like that. And you're going to make money, and you're going to want to keep doing it, and you're going to want to do it even more intense, and you're going to want to have even worse opinions. So there's an imperative there. And that's, I guess, why people try to say, hey, this is a grift, you know, like to let other people know to not consume the content. But the problem that I have with a lot of content makers, so I don't know if anyone who has seen this dude has listened to his words and reported his channel, but I did this morning when I first saw his video. I reported his channel because this is the video where he says it, but he specifically targets black people in a lot of his rants, and it is hate speech. It's not necessarily using the N-word, but you don't have to do that to be doing hate speech. So, you know, sorry, I'm turning off my face cam just so I can hit this bong. Smoke him if you got him. What the hell was that? There was a sound. No, I think it was just the piano. But yeah, so like it's also an imperative on the other side of things for people to like keep their monetization, for people to keep the comment or the content that they react to on the platform so they can continue to react to it. It's always this kind of thing. It's maybe like the Samaritan syndrome or something like that, where it's like, I don't want to be the one that takes this guy down because he's going to reduce my views and he's going to reduce my engagement and he's going to reduce, you know, the engagement and views of all my friends because they would love to talk shit about him too. You know, like, I don't know. The tide rises and lifts all ships, right? Not just the ships on your side. It lifts all ships. So if he's getting engagement because of all the controversial stuff, then, and admittedly myself too, riding on this wave, you know, people who push back against him are hoping to get that engagement from the people who want to push back against him. You know what I mean? Like, it's all an engagement farming thing, just simply because you want your channel to stick around. But I think the difference with me is that I went and reported this guy. I want him to lose his platform because of the vitriol that he's spewing. But I don't think a lot of content creators, not that I would consider myself, you know, one as a livelihood, but just as a hobby. But like, I don't think there's many content creators out there who are going to report his channel simply because they get the engagement from reacting to his shit. That's the goose guarantee. I don't believe in censorship, by the way, but I also don't believe that people who do stuff specifically to make money that is hateful should get that platform. You should be consistent. You should say your own opinions, and you should rely on your own content to make the platform for you, not just hate speech. All right, I'm gonna hit this bowl. If you got them, feel free to smoke them.
And the absolute line of comics. I have no clue what's going on in absolute Superman, Wonder Woman, or Batman. And like most people, I don't really want to, because these aren't the true characters. It's not even a good alternate universe. People forget Year One and The Dark Knight Returns are both in an alternate universe. None of this shit is an alternate universe. It's just race swaps and terrible character designs. And why?
What
is
are you
that,
talking
you ask?
about?
Because it comes from people like Scott Snyder. Scott Snyder is an absolute handicap who never understood Batman. Real Batman fans can...
So clearly he got one of his videos demonetized for using the R slur, I guess. Kid only needs a trench coat, some Marilyn Manson music, and some guns, and I guess a high school. Well, even from a capitalist point of view, if I were advertising my product, which it might be on YouTube, I wouldn't want those ads to be funding hate speech because of negative brand association. Yep. That's why he has a Patreon, and we're not seeing an ad roll or an ad read halfway through his fucking video. I'd be happy to do an ad read. Sponsor me, companies. I'll do it. I'll shill for you. You want to sell me or you want to have me sell a plot of land that doesn't give you any actual titles, but they're going to say that it gives you something? Sure, I'll do it. I'll tell the truth in the ad read, but I'll do it. You want to sponsor me for some mixed nuts? Are you a mixed nuts startup? You're just trying to get off the ground? I'll advertise to you, or I'll advertise to my nearly 300 subscribers for you. Out of the kindness of my heart, I'll do it. All right, get at me. You won't do it, you cowards. That's a lot of people, all right? 267 people. That's a lot of people. And it can it can certainly go down from there. But people typically don't like unsubscribe from people unless they specifically don't like them. So, let's continue to hear. Oh, did you, cynical, did you hear the comment that he made about how Lex shows Superman the 100 monkeys typing on 100 typewriters thing, where they're all doing the hate posts and stuff? He says, first he bends reality, and he says that this is James Gunn literally saying, he says that literally, this is James Gunn literally saying that the people who are hate posting about Superman, a movie that is being made when he's making it, right? That is in progress of being made. That is not out yet. It's not been released. He's saying that people make hate posts. They hate bomb or review bomb his movie Superman are all monkeys. He says that first, completely disregarding the laws of time and space, because apparently people are review bombing something without having seen it. And then James Gunn is calling them monkeys, right? So he's calling them all monkeys. And then he adds, and can you imagine if any Indian kid or black kid is hearing that, he's calling you monkeys? So, I mean, it broke my brain again just to repeat it. But and I was like, nobody brought race into this. There's only one person who did that, and it's this guy. I don't know that I've seen as big a self-report in my life. That was just like insane.
Agree on that. And if you thought
Insane.
the writing was bad enough on Absolute Batman, then the art just gets 10 million times worse.
I'm sorry, why would you think that's bad art? He says this is bad art. What? I mean, I don't have a muscle fantasy, so I'm it's not particularly attractive, not attractive, but attractive artwork, you know, like it doesn't vibe with me. I don't like the big beefy hulking superheroes. I like Spider-Man's my favorite because he's like a skinny kid from Queens.
Worse. This guy, Nick Dragata, I was gonna say no offense to the guy, but I really do mean offense to the guy.
What did he do to you? He made a thing you don't like. Why do you want to offend him then? Because you were offended by seeing something on a page in a comic book? Why?
Because you can't draw comics. And don't dodge the argument and say, how about you go make something? Because this guy has been hired to draw Batman and he can't even do that. Because when he does...
He really moved to cut off the, well, why don't you come up with something better? I don't know why I lisped that. But, I guarantee he couldn't do better. And so he just headed it off at the pass and was like, no! This guy was working for DC. Well, I'm sure if your artwork was better, you'd be working for DC.
It ends up in Bruce acting like a gay Down syndrome.
I'm sorry? Like a gay Down syndrome. Again, I believe this is because he probably got demonetized for saying the R slur.
But it's in the recent issues of Absolute
No, absolute Neo Slinky, normally I would be like, you know, hypotheticals are hypotheticals. But honestly, let's say that I don't smoke cigarettes anymore, but if I was at work and I stepped out to smoke a cigarette, just to take a nice little me break, and this guy comes up and he goes, "Hey there, sir, you got a light I can," or what is he, what? He talks like a pirate. "Hey there, sir, do you happen to have a light?" And then I'll be like, "Yeah, sure, here you go." "Ah, thank you, me boy. Did you know that Superman was woke?" And I'd be like, "I've seen articles to that effect. Yeah, I'd love to hear your thoughts on it." "Well, me boyo, I remember when my crewmates and I were stranded out on the open ocean. Only the 13 of us, all men, strong, bucking, strapping boyos. Oh, I remember blonde manes trailed down to the mid-backs, and we didn't know when we was in the shower. I don't know why we had plumbing, but when we was in the shower, who was a man and who was a woman? We had no idea. It got quite foggy in there, and then, oh my boyo, where was I? Where? And then I've gone back inside, having finished my cigarette at that point. But yeah, I'd wonder. I'd wonder where he was going with that, and it would have turned into something like this.
Batman, where this spastication has begun. So they're butchering yet another classic DC character, Bane, with the brand new story arc titled Abomination. I haven't read it, I haven't seen anything from it, I'm just
Oh. Now, just to let you know, I haven't seen the movie, but I know it's woke because he's got a curl in his hair and a sparkle in his eye that makes me want to tongue kiss him in the throat.
seen retards online losing their crap over.
Did you notice that? He censored the word crap. He didn't say shit. You know you can say shit on the internet. You know you're allowed to say shit on the... I can say fuck. I can say penis fart. I can say gobshite. Bloody. You know, as long as it doesn't go against the TOS, you can say it. And he bleeps himself when he says racist. But not when he says the R slur. and not when he uses gay as an insult. What is this reality?
And right here is the crux of the argument. As the designer slash co-creator of Bane, this is a terrible abomination. Now this is said by Graham Nolan, somebody who should most definitely be allowed to talk about Bane, Batman, and the DC universe.
Who says he's not allowed? He posted this on the biggest platform in the world. He's allowed. He was very permitted to do so. You're posting a picture of it, or you have a picture of it as an example after the fact that it's up, it's there, it's up, and it's in, right? Not allowed? Who's saying not allowed? Who's saying that? Did DC say not allowed because they didn't change his? In fact, they made him more monstrous as the comic went on. But you wouldn't know because you didn't read it. You even said you didn't read it.
You heard it from the man himself. He literally created the character.
So that means that he has the definitive and permanent word forever and ever, like the rights don't exist, and he has the rights? No, apparently not, because Bane seems to look pretty different in the absolute universe. I hate to tell you. I'm gonna grab some more water. I'm gonna go ahead and let it play. I've already seen this video, so you might as well.
Designed Bane.
It's already. I think it's playing.
Whatever the hell he wants about him, and rightfully
no, it's at
so,
normal. I'll play a little
what
faster.
What the hell is this shit? Why is Bane's head the size of a pea? Why is the rest
Which
of
country in
body
Europe would you like to
effing
travel
boulders?
to?
As I
I
said
would love to
earlier,
travel
this
to
Nick Dragonic
Paris,
guy can't really
Italy,
draw. Everyone's
Turkey,
heads are tiny
Hungary,
and retarded, and they're usually crying. And as you know,
God,
the internet, some random
Europe,
handicap
Germany,
comes in and there's
I guess
ratios, a
everywhere.
comic book legend, proving that
To be honest,
ratios, likes, comments, reposts mean
I don't know that there's many
absolutely
places I
nothing.
wouldn't want to
Modern
go.
comic book fans and civilization
Never been.
as a whole are usually majorly
Never been outside
retarded.
the US.
Imagine being so miserable that you have
Well,
to
to
shit
Mexico,
on other
but
artists' work
I consider
on
that
Twitter.
my
I think
second
it's
home.
time for better, Grandpa.
My second home.
Is that supposed to be funny?
At least
When you
Tijuana,
go away
anyway.
and read a comic
If
book
you've ever been
and
there,
then
you know what
start
I mean.
commenting at a comic book legend,
And,
it's genuinely
Puerto
insane,
Vallarta.
and one of the biggest examples of fake
I'm
fans.
so white.
Another guy with 3,000 likes.
Ugh.
No, it's Bane. Abomination is a
I've
Mario
got white
character.
self-hatred.
Very funny joke.
Oh,
Once
I'm so
again,
liberal.
handicapped. And these people are my least favorite. People
I'm gonna
who
get more
actually
water.
have respect
Oh,
for comics,
my bones,
but yet
my bones.
tolerate
I'm
absolute
old.
bullshit. Graham, you
I'm
rock,
old.
man, but don't you think that there's room for other artists to reimagine the character? No, there's no room at all. There's only room to reimagine a character if the character sucked in the first place. There's nothing wrong with reimagining a character if it's for the good. Just look at the Guardians of the Galaxy and what Abnett and Lanning did in the 2000s. They took some team that nobody even ever heard of, Star-Lord, some comic from the 70s, and made them into a legendary team, spanning like 10 years of comics. Some of the most obvious ones come from the legend Frank Miller. Before Frank Miller, Daredevil was not the character he was today. Why? Because he reimagined him. And newsflash, if you're brain dead, reimagining means improving upon the character, adding new traits that makes them different and interesting, so that they can stand out from other characters.
like
After
that.
Frank Miller, Daredevil wasn't just a Batman or Spider-Man clone. In my opinion, he's
looking
actually
at me crazy.
superior to both of those characters. So that just shows you what a good reimagination can do. This is not
TJA
reimagination.
fan,
This is
what-
some
what-
guy who
what-
can't
what-
draw and was
where would
led
you
onto
go?
a Batman comic. And that ends
Where
with
would you
Batman
go? You gotta
crying
answer
and
your own
screaming,
question, man.
Alfred
Where
being
would you
John
go?
Wick, and
And
Bane
why isn't
being
my
an
chat
absolute
overlay working?
abomination that makes you want to bleach
Some
my
bull.
eyes. Once again, another person trying to prove wrong a comic book legend. Man, ... Clearly a tribute to Kelly Jones's work. Compare the two images. Kelly Jones's Batman is awesome. It takes the horror elements of the character's origins from the 40s and 70s and really accentuates them, reimagining Batman in an awesome way. And not only
Yeah, but having a point doesn't preclude him from also being hateful.
does this panel look great, but the Batman and Bane both look better than the one on the right. Batman's cape is blue. He has white eyes. Bane wears an iconic mask, and it's in full view on the left, where his head is normal size. So I don't give a shit if it's a tribute to Kelly Jones or whoever. It just plain sucks. And we have another massive fake fan here who needs to go read a comic book. Scott Snyder might actually be the greatest to ever do it. So already one of the worst statements a human has ever spoken. Scott Snyder is some gay dude
Yeah,
who
weird.
should be
Okay, it
working in
doesn't
Starbucks
wanna-
with blue hair. He shouldn't be writing a Batman comic, and it really does show in his run and in
refresh, maybe?
absolute Batman, because it turns Batman into a puny, weak gay, and not what he should be, a strong, stoic detective. And before I read on, you can be the most liberal, Marxist person and still make a great Batman. Just look at Denny O'Neil, the comic book legend. The guy was literally taking part.
Whew, okay. Oh my gosh. That was a lot at once. That was a lot at once.
Great Batman. Just look at Denny O'Neil. The comic
hold
book
on.
really does show in his run and in absolute Batman, because it turns Batman into a puny, weak gay, and not
How is a 8-foot tall, hulking menace with a fucking battle axe in his chest and daggers in his cowl weak, puny, and he's a bodybuilder and a boxer, and he's weak and construction worker, and he's weak and puny? What?
What he should be, a strong, stoic detective. And before I read on, you...
And what does that even mean, a strong, stoic detective? I think the people who have come to know Batman over the years know that he has, you know, been stoic up to a point. When it comes to the Bat family, he's always been a loving father and mentor. You know, even if he doesn't show emotions, he still communicates to his family that he wants to protect them and loves them and all that kind of stuff. Stoic, I mean, I'm assuming that because this guy is saying stoic, that he's talking about it in terms of like the manosphere, like motivational alpha bullshit, where stoic would be someone who like doesn't show emotions because it would be considered weak. Again, that's not why Batman doesn't show emotions. He doesn't show emotions because I mean, it's like a tactic against the criminality and like anyone who would try to plot against him to just have a good poker face. Like there's no what is the value that you're prescribing to stoicism, and what is the value that you're prescribing to a detective? A detective is heroic. A detective is somebody who fights for the little guy. Batman, in the absolute universe, has a group of friends that he is torturing himself over for not being able to protect. And, like, he even goes so far as to journey to goddamn fucking hell, and he like, takes on a god with a god by his side to get a magic fucking pendant so that the friend that he let down can become anything resembling a human again. Yeah, I read comics sometimes. But fucking shit, man. Like, you're talking about heroism. You're talking about stoicism like you think you know what it means, but what you actually mean is what it takes to be a hero, which is self-sacrifice, which is compassion, empathy. Those are necessary components to being a hero. What you want is a villain. What it seems like. Which is, because I can't imagine that it means any other thing than that you want him to, what, be evil or mean, or, because I've seen in his thumbnails, he says that Judge Dredd is badass, Spawn is badass. Oh, it is? Oh, because I refreshed it, so. Take that, chat bugs. Fuck you. I'm not really leveling that at anybody, I guess. But yeah, fuck you. I had to cough.
You can be the most liberal Marxist person and still...
What does that mean? What is it? I guarantee he doesn't know what woke means. I absolutely guarantee you. There's just no way. I would not believe that in a million years. He cannot define woke.
Make a great Batman. Just look at Denny O'Neil, the comic book legend. The guy was literally taking part in protests in the 70s. He was a bleeding heart liberal, and that showed in his overrated works like Green Arrow, Green Lantern, that has great art, but the writing does let it down. And the same with his Question run in the 80s, which should have been great, but his liberalism basically ruined it. But why is he a comic book legend? Because before Frank Miller, he made Batman who he was. He took Batman from the cringe where he was running around in rainbow-colored suits with
Trenton
Robin,
Gary,
and
what's
there was
up?
little Batmite flying around next to him. And it also helped majorly when he had the legend Neil Adams right next to him, drawing one of the best Batmans of all time. So
wait, this isn't
go. It's right in
copyright.
front of your face if you're a real fan. You can be left wing or right wing and still...
We're watching a guy. This guy popped up in my algorithm this morning, and I watched this video, and then when I started the stream I played a different video of his. It's just a guy who's like severely racist, but you'll see. We'll get to that, I think, but he's just hopelessly racist, and seems to be doing it for the grift, but we're not really sure. Oh yeah, my algorithm is, because I do all my research on this on my main account for all the videos that I'm going to pull up on stream. Like I do all those searches on this account. I don't like have it separated.
make a great Batman. So it's got.
And I used to not engage. Like I wouldn't like videos or share or anything like that. And so the stuff that I engaged with was always hate commenting on this stuff. So my algorithm was like, oh, you enjoy watching this stuff. Here is a bunch of it.
It's not really a politics issue, it's actually just a brain issue, where the guy didn't grow up reading James Bond and detective novels and making a badass stoic detective Batman, who was also the suave gentleman Bruce Wayne. No, instead every single...
What? Well, the topic is on this guy, but it includes racism and definitely some homophobia. Who would win, RoboCop versus Batman? I think they fought before, to be quite honest.
A great Batman. So
but Batman, instantly. Really like, issue. Without any... There's no doubt, Batman. Hands down.
Bond and
within a moment.
Making a badass stoic detective Batman, who is also the suave gentleman Bruce Wayne. No, instead, every single iteration of
how is that...
looks like they're out of My Chemical Romance and...
What is that? How does that have to do with anything with masculinity? Like, a bodybuilder's masculine, a detective's masculine. Like, what... You can be masculine in any of those roles. You don't... What why do you think that a bodybuilder boxer guy is gay? I don't understand. And even then, why would that be a problem? You can be gay and be a bodybuilder or a detective. What is happening?
Looks like they're more worried about their boyfriend than fighting crime. But anyway.
What?
Back to this deluded idiot. What do you mean he named...
At no point in the comic does he ever allude to being gay at all. Or bi, or any... He doesn't allude to his sexuality. He has a romantic history with Selena. So, the only thing that he's established himself as is so far is straight.
Named his Bane arc after Graham Nolan's hate tweet. So I don't know who the hell finds this cool, but it's not. Naming the arc Abomination because the person who created the character called you out is not some sort of own. If anything, it's petty, and you need to get off the internet and focus on using your brain.
Oh, my sweet baby boy. Oh, my baby boy, my boy. I wish I could stroke your cheek. Oh, I'm so sorry. You should be telling yourself this. Everything you're saying, you should be telling this to yourself. Oh, my sweet, sweet baby boy. My baby racist boy. Oh, it's always about black people, isn't it? Oh, my sweet baby boy.
To end off the video, I just want to bring up this tweet that I saw, which is one of my least favorite talking points in the comic book community, which is filled with fake fans, gay freaks, people with Palestine, Israel flags all over.
What the fuck? What the fuck? Oh, man. Hold on.
Yo, I just want to bring up this tweet that I saw, which is the character called you out is not some sort of own. If anything, it's petty, and you need to get off the internet and focus on using your brain and writing Batman. And to end off the video, I just want to bring up this tweet that I saw, which is one of my least favorite talking points in the comic book community, which is filled with fake fans, gay freaks, people with Palestine, Israel flags all over the place. Fuck everyone.
It's like that meme with like the guy standing in the center and all of the people pointing at them and then saying like, I'm right. It really does feel like that's just kind of what's happening here.
Every single one of these insufferable people. But
it's an answer to something.
What if James Gunn gave Robert Pattinson's Batman wide eyes? Now, I don't think that Robert Pattinson should ever be playing Batman. He looks...
First of all, it's Rob Bat. Second of all, he was one of the best Batmans I've ever seen in my entire life. Mr. Borat, what on earth are you posting there? I don't... Can anybody else see that? It looks like hieroglyphics. If everyone became gay, the human race would become extinct. Right. Who wants everyone to be gay? Nobody's saying that. Where is there legislation that's incentivizing being gay or requiring people to be gay? I mean, sexuality is a spectrum. You can be gay and still have sex with women if you desire to. You wouldn't be entirely gay. You'd be like, you know, if you have romantic love for another man and you desire a relationship and companionship with another man, then that would be, I think, definitionally gay. And you can be that and still have a sexual attraction to women. Did you know that? Did you know that sexuality is a spectrum? Well, it is, partner. So why don't you saddle up and mosey on into that sunset? I don't know why I said that. Again, sexuality is a spectrum. So you can be gay. You can be in a gay relationship. That would be gay. But it's not always exclusive to simply love versus sexuality. You know, like you can be sexually attracted to women. Just saying. It's not a decision. No, you are born. Did you not see all the recent genetic studies that came out that said there's actually like parts of your brain that can define you as gay? Like, I don't know, it's some chromosome shit. I'm not a biologist, but there are studies that came out about that. Mr. Borat, if you're gay for me, you're gonna have to wait. You're gonna have to woo me. Because I come attached. And probably not going to get divorced anytime soon. You know, knock on wood, I hope nothing comes up. But, you know, just as it happens. Mine was a decision, then you were never really straight in the first place. Really simple. Really simple. Whenever people, those are all lies. Yes, empirical data is totally lies. Sure. I'll believe you, random person on the internet. Right.
Acts nothing like the character. He should go back to being autistic and using TikTok. And
can you give me a justification as for like anything that proves why it's a decision? Can you prove that at all? Is that a thing that you can substantiate? If so, I'd love to see you do it without using the Bible.
For James Gunn directing Batman, no comment. What this guy's saying is, what is the obsession with wide eyes in a comic book movie? Some people have to realize that certain things can be medium specific. Not really. The best looking Wolverine on screen ever was in Deadpool and Wolverine when he had wide eyes. And yeah, when Nolan did it in The Dark Knight, it didn't look that great. But I think it's something that should be done.
I don't know that I necessarily agree with that. I know that there's a lot of Deadpool fans out there. A lot of Deadpool and Wolverine fans out there. It was bad CG. It was pretty bad. It was, I think it was really, I think it was pretty bad. It was pretty bad. For this day and age, and for how good they do other things, it was pretty bad. They should have done something practical with that, but I guarantee it was probably in Jackman's contract that he didn't have to do any, like, extemporaneous sit-downs for makeup and all that kind of shit, you know? Yes, because data changes over time when access to new information is gained. See, you're only disproving your own claim here. Truth doesn't change. Subjective to you. It's absolute. No. Sorry. What you believe to be the truth can be in controversion to the actual truth. But that's you being under a misconception. And so then, you know, you're kind of defeating your own argument here. You're kind of only outing yourself as a closed-minded person. And one could even argue a bigot, if you're arguing that maybe gay people shouldn't exist.
After years of seeing these characters,
or at least if you're arguing that they don't
the
exist.
Actual character. All I see is these riddling, autistic, ADHD kids all over the internet talking about how Robert Pattinson's Batman is so relatable and how awesome.
He probably saw one post by like a really popular furry and was just like, oh my god, these sons of bitches. Oh, these gay motherfuckers. Ooh, I'm gonna post about them. I'm gonna make a video and I'm gonna post about, ooh, these gay motherfuckers.
He is, and how he just looks around the room. When he walks into a crime scene, it's not like...
Autistic ADHD. Now, it's not entirely outside the realm of belief to think that those things can come paired together. It is absolutely a thing. So a sperm can be gay. Again, I'm not a biologist. But I would assume that once you have gotten in through development to the point where your like personality defining characteristics, those parts of your brains are brains are starting to form. That's probably when those chromosomes are formed. I'm not a biologist, so I don't know. I would urge you to read those studies because they've got a lot of good information in them. Even if you don't agree with them, refusing to hear other parts of dissenting arguments kind of just makes you still closed-minded and a bigot until you open your mind to other possibilities. So the part of the thing that makes humanity so great is the fact that we can change our minds. And when we hear new information through empathy, we can be better people if we choose to be. And that's why I think, people are awesome. They have the potential to change always. So hopefully this guy can change.
The comics where he has wide eyes and he looks like Dracula or some sort of badass. No, instead you can see every single emotion as his eyes are twitching around the room because he just wants to get back to using TikTok. I'm sorry, but that's
what the fuck
has been. Batman has wide eyes. Most superheroes have wide eyes. Now, I'm not the most massive fan of Daredevil on Netflix because nothing will beat the comics, but at least they realized that and actually gave him.
Now this I don't remember. Was there a point where he had white eyes in the cowl? That would have been jarring. Or did he? No. I think he had his own eyes, right? Was it like clear or something? I don't remember. I could easily just go back and watch them. But I am, just so you guys know, if you want to know what I'm working on as far as posting goes, I haven't posted for a couple of months. And my last one was really just a blurb about New Year's. So I've been light on the content on YouTube. But I am working on a retrospective about the hidden trilogy that Jon Favreau originally wanted to make before studio executives got involved in the early MCU, and I'll piece it together. I disagree with you. Homosexuality is definitely a choice. Well, it's not definitely a choice. Your opinion is that it is a choice, and several scientific documents that have all been peer-reviewed disagree with you, as well as the DSM. So, you can try all you want to argue against something that has been proven a thing, but that doesn't make you right. Again, what's really beautiful about humanity is that we can change our minds when presented with new information. So again, I'd urge you to read those articles, or read those studies, I mean. What was I saying? Oh yeah, I've got a trilogy commentary coming out, which I've been working very hard on. But I also have a video coming out tomorrow, I think. I don't know, man. I feel like it's a little corny or weird to share what you've been working on, but also I think it's also a good idea. I don't know. Some people care. I typically, I don't put a lot of weight on it. Apply armor to. I won't get enough, damn it. I wanted to try and get this guy. But I could have just done that math and realized that it wouldn't. The text on top of text is looking crazy. Or crazy looking. Is it me? For me? It's a lot. It's pretty big too. Is sort of an issue. I had a background on it before. I guess that's probably not a thing right now. Oh, yeah. Okay. Well, whatever. Hopefully that is better too. What is your definition of homosexuality? Well, homo means same. Sexuality is I would assume, what, like preference for sexual preference or something? That's all it means. But again, as we learn more about sexuality, we discover that it is on a spectrum, and some amount of that can be choice, but most of it is tied to genetics. Don't look to me for the empirical data. Look to those studies for the empirical data. I would not claim to be an authority on that. But I did reading. I did the reading. I did the reading. And I came to my conclusions.
The red lenses. And to finish off this
In the
super
classical
argument, you can just
manner.
use the simple philosophy of if something is cool, then people will like it. And everybody knows it. Batman just looks cooler with wide eyes. It's one of the best things about good Batman runs, like the Denny O'Neil, Neil Adams run.
So he puts a salient point into a entire 10-minute, 20-minute video of gobbledygook.
Arrow's Batman, Kelly Jones, Norm Brayfogle, Frank Miller, David Mazzucchelli, and rest in peace Tim Sale, who in my opinion drew probably the best Batman, or at least one of the best. And it's why the comics will always, undeniably, never forget it, be better than every single movie. And most of these people who are brought up today have no respect for industry legends, have no sense of what entertainment should be, are all deluded idiots or just communists.
Means to be attracted to the same sex. Well, then you're actually defining it a lot more loosely than I am.
But the most important part is that most of these people have never ever read a comic book. So if you agree with anything I said in this video today, and if you're a real comic book fan...
But he admitted that he didn't read the Absolute Batman comic book. The thing that he's critiquing right now.
Do let me know and maybe consider subscribing. And if you're one of those woke retards out there, fuck your Absolute Batman, go complain to your boyfriend.
So you see... Maybe the freedom of speech isn't all it's cracked up to be. You know, I say we abolish the First Amendment. for this guy specifically. Not for anyone else. Only for this one. Jesus. How do people get like that? You know? Like, I know it's environment, but fuck, man. Can't you just not be a piece of shit? Like, can't you just, like, you know, just not be a piece of shit? Is that so hard? Yeah, it's really weird, but because he critiques it but says he hasn't read it. Oh, you know he hasn't read the other one. You know he never read the or watched what's it called? The fucking thing. Superman. That is the definition in the dictionary. Okay. You asked me to define it. You asked what is my definition, not what is the dictionary's definition. I can just Google the dictionary's definition. But I don't know what you think you're doing here, Trenton. This isn't, you know, really a debate day. We're just covering an asshole. And if you know, if you're trying to argue that being gay isn't a thing, you're just wrong. Maybe he's doing a character as a parody. Nah, dude. Like, he's got over 100 some odd videos. I mean, maybe, but it doesn't seem like satire. You know, like, it's a lot of work. That would be some severe commitment to the bit. And I mean, you know, kudos if true. But... And it doesn't even really make me angry. I mean, I know that it probably makes a lot of people angry, but I mean, I just don't think it's funny. I think that he thinks it's funny as hell, and I don't really think it's funny. Like, you can't, if you're against a thing, so like, let's say that I'm anti-gay, right? If I'm against a thing, then I wouldn't want to diminish my own stance by saying that everything I don't like is gay. Like, if I'm throwing out gay as an insult, I think I'm taking the power out of it even for myself. You know what I mean? Like, just the way that he expresses his opinions are very like, that's gay. Right? But he seems anti-gay because he's like anti-woke or whatever. So I feel like he's wrapping too many tropes into one character, if that's what he's doing. You know what I mean? We were discussing, yeah, he could be method. You never know. I you know, mad props to him if he's doing a real good acting job. Mad props, brosif. Oh, come on. I wanted to do a cheesy wheezy. I am not paying attention to this game. Oh my god. No, why is it getting... Well, I guess I want my pyre to defeat people. We were discussing, not arguing. I mean, if you're saying stuff that's pushing back against something I'm saying, then aren't you arguing against me? That's my understanding. You say that gay people don't exist. It's just objectively not true. Or at least, sorry, real gay people don't exist. Batman and Robin spent a lot of time alone in that Batcave. Ah, you ever read Dark Knight? A lot of stuff is proposed to might have happened in that particular timeline. That was none too friendly to Robin. Also, Batman had a relationship at one point with Cassandra or Barbara, one of the Batgirls. His hands are not clean either, and because he was so rich, he probably would have been on Epstein's flight logs. You know? Sad to think about. Just by sheer proximity. I don't think he would have ever engaged, because I think Barbara or Cassie was 19 at the time, which is still pretty gross, because that's taking advantage of someone that you basically adopted as a daughter and then mentored. Little weird. And then in one of the animated movies, he has a relationship with Batwoman, which is, I believe, was the wife of a dear friend of his. I said it was a decision, right? Don't you see how you're arguing that real gay people don't exist? That's your point, is that real gay people don't exist. People who are born gay, who express that particular area of the sexuality spectrum, that it's a decision that they make, then the label means nothing, right? So therefore they don't exist. That's just objectively not true. You're just objectively wrong. And there's plenty of proof to that. I told you to go look up those studies. Scientific proof that being gay is biological would be a good Google to type. Would be a good thing to put into the Googles. But instead of doing that, you're still trying to convince me of whatever point it is. He would probably go as Bruce so he gets some supervillain as Batman. Yeah, I feel like he did stuff like that. What was his he had a few roles that he played. He had his hood. He was a hood for gangsters when he was trying to bring down Falcone and Maroni. I don't remember what he had, an alter ego name. And then he did it again. Oh man, he infiltrated another organization. He's done it with the Court of Owls. The decision exists. Right. I mean, there are definitely people who make a mistake or a misjudgment about something that they have realized about themselves, or through societal or environmental pressure could think that they're gay and could then come out of the closet as gay, live a life as gay, and then realize later on in life that they don't actually have the feelings they thought they did, and that they were just processing something else, and go back to being straight. They can, that is a thing, but that's the minority. Just like being straight is a decision. I mean, again, sexuality is a spectrum. You can't just look at it as binaries. There is no choice to become straight, no choice to become gay. You are just inclined to be attracted to who you are attracted to, and it's patternistic throughout your entire life. That's why a lot of people say, oh, I always go for the same guy, or I always go for the same girl. It's all patternistic. Right there in those studies that I'm telling you to Google, which you just don't seem to want to listen to. But no, it's not a decision. It's not a decision that anybody makes. There are people who do make those decisions, but again, they are in the vast minority of all the people who identify as LGBTQIA+. Don't come in here without pulling receipts, my friend, because I have debated to many folk about gay and trans issues, and you will not be the first to fall, nor will you be the last. I don't know why I tried to say or sound badass right there. I'm really not. But I don't like when it's the gaming day and we've stopped talking about the serious shit, when, you know, we just keep going on and on about the gay shit because gays do exist and you can't just reason them out of existence. So sorry. Just not a thing you can do. See, now I don't even remember what we were talking about. That's so mean. Batman is bisexual. The signs are there. Especially if you read The Dark Knight. Especially if you read The Dark Knight. I wouldn't recommend it, though, if you like your sanity intact. But it is official. We have transitioned from... we have transitioned from the serious shit to the not so serious shit. So let's try to keep it light, okay? Let's not deny that gay people have a right to exist. All right? I would much appreciate it. Thank you. Especially when I'm about to lose this goddamn game. It'll also help if I change my title. Yeah. Oh. Yeah. Oh. Yeah. Right? There's a lot of aggression towards more adolescent figures in the sensual variety in The Dark Knight. Perpetrated by none other than Mr. Batman himself. I would, you know, if you respect Batman as a heroic figure, I would just kind of write off, the Frank Miller adaptation as just being an Elseworlds story. It's a one-off thing. You know, he was subject to the pressure and the stress of the time, and it really does just take one bad day. Just don't read it. Don't do it. Buster Train. 18 viewers. Holy shit. Yeah, I'm guessing that he probably just... I'm thinking he was looking for Frank Lloyd Wright and ended up finding Frank Miller and then just got super into the Dark Knight, you know? They don't deny that straight people have a right. Then don't deny that straight people have a right to exist. I didn't. I said sexuality is a spectrum. Do you have listening problems? Or is it comprehension? Change the YouTube titles. Tittle. Not a jot or tittle. This train's a coming. Bow wow wow yippee yo yippee yay. Bow wow yippee yo yippee yay. Snoop Doggy. Dow wow yippee yay yippee yay. Where's the fucking where's the thing? Where's that? Gaming. Nope, gotta enter that title. Monster Train 2. Shabam. If you want to read The Dark Knight, you should. It's actually a very good comic book. It just has some of those grape issues that you'll just have to be aware of are there. They will be there. It's not the end of the world, and if you aren't triggered by that shit, then you good. What you accuse, you become. Trenton, I don't know what you think I've accused, and I don't know what you think I was denying, but I didn't do either of those things. You have won a free prostate exam for Valentine's Day. Oh, cool. Sweet. Are you gonna come to me, or do I have to travel to you? Because I can't go very far. I just don't really like long drives, but you know, I'm down. You know, hey, I haven't had one of those yet. I'm supposed to get a colonoscopy once you turn 40. That's supposed to be like a thing. I don't want that. I don't. It's not gonna be fun because I've heard that there's some pain involved, especially if they don't sedate you well enough. It's already uncomfortable, and you already have to get uncomfortable, and then you have to get sedated, so you're kind of wonky but also uncomfortable. So I mean, you're like probably like clenched, you know, like watertight, like a duck's butthole. But I don't ask me how I know that. But I don't. You then have to lay down on a table and have a tube. It goes. It's a they put a camera in. I know everyone knows what a colonoscopy is, but no one ever wants to talk about it because of how scary it is. Not only do they get to see inside your most vulnerable spot, because if you're caught with your ass in the air in nature, what hope have you? You know, what hope have you? None, I say. To even the smallest of bees, he'll get you. All right. I don't know the mechanics of how that would happen, but he'll get you, and he'll bring his buddies. All right. They dance. That's how they communicate. They dance to each other. And they fart? Is it what? It's a smell, right? Or is that ants? All this talk about pheromones has made me realize I have to pee. I'll be right back. I'll be right back. It's not scary for everyone. Yeah, after the first time, you butthead. Ow! You're cyberbullying me! Quit cyberbullying me! Leave me alone! Alright, I'm gonna pee. I'll be right back. BRB. All right. I've peed. I have peed. And I've peed. Remember, you were born for it. You were born for colonoscopies? Is that a thing? I don't think your YouTube link in your link tree is working. God damn it! Sons of bitches. I will address that when we are off. When I'm off. When we, as in me and my homies back here, when we're off stream. I have two homies, and they're asleep right now. The other homie is out in the living room, looking out the window forlornly, wishing that she was out running down the street with me running after her out of breath. Oh, he killed my hero. Oh, crap. I'm afraid of doctors. They always put fingers up my butt. You know, you're only supposed to get that, like, occasionally, right? You know, it's not supposed to happen over and over again. And if they take it out and put it in, take it out and put it in again, then they're on vacation. All right? You got to tell them to wrap it up. Okay, doctor? You have to wrap it up down there. I'm starting to bleed. I'm going to lose this game. I mean, not intentionally, but it's going to happen. I can see that now. Since I have the music on here, I'm just going to turn it off on the old YouTuberies. Free up some of that precious RAM. I was able to delete fucking Microsoft Edge finally. Jesus Christ. What, just a bunch of bullshit bloatware. From the one company that supplies that shit. They got the market on lockdown. They don't need to keep marketing. It's done. They did it. They marketed. They did a marketing. There's no way I'm going to win this. Although, he is pretty low on health. I did not think he would be that low by this point. I'm on 13 pyre health. There's absolutely there's no way. It ain't going to happen. I wish it could, but it won't. He will kill me. I'm betting you. If I'd actually looked at his attack, I probably would have realized that his melee alone was going to kill me. That is something that you can kind of look at and be like, oh, yeah, that's probably a thing. So I'm trying to level up my Wormkin clan. They are just kind of a slog. Not the best added class or clan, I guess. I haven't tried them with Melting Remnant though. I don't. We'll do it. I don't really like them, and I don't really know how to use them, I guess. We shall see. We'll see how it shakes out. Oh, Cynical, do you mean that it doesn't go to my... Does it at least go to my YouTube homepage, or does it just not go anywhere? Because it should at least go to my homepage. The kingdom of heaven is at hand. Repent and believe in the Gospels. I mean, if we're to take the Bible at face value, then I don't really want to base my life off having slaves or murdering innocent girls or you know, destroying the whole population of the world twice. Why are we talking about this? Doesn't seem like it goes anywhere. All right, yeah, I'll fix that when I am off stream. I'll get that shit working lickety-split. Harvest. Yeah, I mean, I guess if we're going to be, like, reforming, might as well. My doctor is senile. Yeah. That would be an excuse for one to continuously insert fingers into a rectum. Accidentally. Hmm. Mm-hmm. Hmm. Mm-hmm. Hmm. Mm-hmm. Hmm. Mm-hmm. When a friendly unit gains burnout, neither of those are ones that are going to help very much. Very much. Unfortunately. Now, when any unit, because that could be good. We can hope, I guess. get reaped. That's the only one I can play, I guess. The cool, crisp refreshment of ice-cold water. I get real stoked about the refreshment that water gives me. I did, played it and beat it. Really, I got to the end. I didn't get to every secret or discover every secret room. I got most of them. I did most of the puzzles. It was fun, but it was very hard to stay engaged. And I did it. I done did it. Gosh darn it. Oh, I meant to give him the reap. Okay. It's this kind of negligence that lost me the last game. These fucking bell ringers, I don't like them from the Salvation Army. I don't like them from here. So, Burnout's the mechanic. We're gonna let that be the thing that we're doing here. I belched. And we're gonna hope it can carry us. First battle, not so bad. We did it. I ain't super worried, but you never know. You know, you gotta stay vigilant. Infused and attuned. Though extract 2. It doesn't really seem like we're really heavily invested. Reap 15? Probably buff that up and remove consume. Burnout and multi-strike. Burnout and multi-strike. I want like maybe 3 or 4 units that I can just bring back and buff. Restore 15 health. I guess this can be one of them, sure. But does it stay? Do these stay through the room? Through the reform? It'll be fun. Okay, now that's interesting. Ooh, do I want to reroll and not get this? I would like to remove consume more than I would like to... Nope. -2, and it already has consumed. Damn it! I want it to be 0. Spell chain. But it'd be 2 each time. No, we'll dupe a card. We'll dupe this one. I'm gonna keep duping that one. We're just gonna keep duping it. We're gonna dupe it. Dupe it. Oh, now that word has no meaning anymore. Damn it. Now saying it feels worthless, feels weightless. Dupe it. Yep. Still, yep. I overdid it. It happens. It can happen. Yeah, that's going to be pretty rough on the enemies. Pretty rough indeed. Oh, this is that song that sounds like a Muse song. Oh, I don't have any more left. Give me more currency! Bwee, 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 bwee. You can tell I'm losing my voice. Wee! Futanari boy. Would it be me who's gay, or would it be... I suppose so, yeah. If I was to be the one suckling, then it would be... that would be me gay, yeah. There you go, good call. Wait, Futanari boy? Isn't that a contradiction? Right? Aren't they supposed to be like women with penises? I could be completely wrong. Isn't that what that is? But would that mean that you're into them, or would that mean that you are one? I don't know. I'm trying to understand where the username plays the part here, or what role your username plays. Yes. I don't know what he's saying, but I assume it's fun. Aw. But he's not gonna get killed. Oh, he's rooted. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. You have both boy and girl parts. I mean, I don't. I only have a penarse. That's unfortunately, because that would be the best of both worlds, right? I wish. But hey, you know, we can't all be blessed. I don't have any. You guys, you need to die. Start shuffling off this mortal coil so I can re-invite you back to the land of the living. Yeesh. Okay, none of this does that. Probably want to clone that card if I don't die. You a hardcore weeb. I actually don't know anything about anime. So... sorry you can't pick on me about that. Plenty of other things. And there you go. Yeah. No. Damn it! I can't afford these! They can't go in there! There's no room in there! He's only gonna go down 16 in health! They are pathetic! Massively injured Pyre, let me tell you. Massively injured. He's not feeling well. Definitely need much more of that shit. But do you know the meaning behind my name? Well, yeah, I think what my understanding is that a futanari is a woman with a penis, but I'm trying to figure out what it relates to in terms of, can you be a futanari if you're a boy? Or I was under the impression that it was specific to women, but I don't know. So yes, I do know that word, but I don't know the mechanics involved. If you want to explain them, I'd be happy to hear you out. Yes, always take the large mystery box. I mean, that's just me. I just love chaos, you know. Completely random spell. Well, I don't know if it's completely random. Do I have any that would benefit from this ring? Attack equal to max health. Well, Spine Chief. That is for sure. it would overall be good, I think, for the Baron, right? I think. So yeah. I think that might work. Don't you roar at me, you weird flying pile of corpses. I forbid it. I specifically forbid it. I have to keep moving my glasses, the arms of my glasses up. They have both parts, can get back shots and give back shots to males, can have babies. What are you talking about? Okay. Why specifically back shots? What? Good Lord. Louder, louder. Okay, so yeah, 40 and 40. That seems good. What? No revenge. No. What? What? Revenge. What? What revenge? Create a fleshling. Aww. Aww. You'll do fine, I suppose. Give more attack, I guess. I mean, I didn't need that, but whatever. No one to bring back. Oh, my baby back, baby back, baby back, baby back, baby back. Oh God. The world would be more peaceful if we let the gays run it. Okay. I lost it when I read that as the description. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't know why the specificity, but you know, hey, you know, if that's what you're into, no shame in your game, I guess. No, I didn't want to bloatfly. Bogfly. Are you by any chance autistic? Just asking, no offense. I could be on the spectrum. Some sort of high functioning area of the spectrum, but I don't know for sure. Never been assessed. That would be at the high end of my priority list. But unfortunately, I don't make any money, so I can't actually go to the doctor. One day I'll go to the doctor. I have marketplace. I take care of myself. I can go to the doctor if I need to. I am impoverished, but I am not in any immediate need. So, just in case that crossed your mind, I'm all good. Not in this game, because I'm probably gonna lose it. Ooh, draw two. No, I don't need. Well, that's fine. That's fine. It's all good. Drawing two cards never hurt anyone, except that now I have them on top of my discard pile. It's fine. It's fine. You know, it's all good. It's all good. Wait, Cynical, are you saying that it's autistic to be able to sit and eat a whole wheel of cheese in one sitting? This could be our rubric. This could be the yardstick. Because I do that more often than I think I'm going to admit. Let's just say that in this house, we have a no waste policy, okay? And sometimes, if a block of cheese, especially some, let's say, for instance, Tillamook extra sharp cheddar, is about to go bad, and there's more than a typical person might eat in one sitting, I'm probably going to eat it. Just for the sake of the children in Africa. Right? You know. It's the right thing to do. It is. It is the altruistic thing to do, and that, you know, I could be buying carbon offsets. Well, Beecher's flagship cheddar is really good. I'll grant you that. I used to work at a restaurant in Seattle. I don't know if you know Palace Kitchen. It's one of those Tom Douglas restaurants. But I used to work at I used to live there, I think. I used to work at Palace Kitchen, and we used to make. So the burgers were world famous. I've never had a better burger in my life than at Palace Kitchen. But the burgers, we would start them on the wood-fired grill, fucking fancy as shit. We'd start them on that, and we had like it was a fresh shredded Beecher's flagship cheddar that we let soften, and we whipped 50-50 with butter, with some fresh Tillamook butter, and made those into patties that we would then, as soon as the burger was turned the first time, you'd put it on the cold side of the grill, which would still sear the fuck out of the underside, and you would then put that butter cheese mixture on top, and it would melt down. Like, it looked like a stable puddle of country gravy by the time it was like all encasing the burger, and the butter would baste the burger as it was allowing the cheese to flow all over it, and we would serve it with bib lettuce and some pickled red onions and some Dijonnaise that we would make in-house. Nothing else. A little bit, well, ketchup too, but like, there were fries that came with the burger during dinner service, but during the happy hour, it was really just the burger. But during dinner service, you get a big pile of frites too. It was so good. And I think during happy hour, the burger was like $10. No, $8. It was like $8. I mean, this was back in. Should I date myself? This was back in, I think, 2009. Yeah, 2009. We had our honeymoon in Seattle, and then we lived there for 2 years. 2008. Yeah, 2007, 2008. Right around the time I started making YouTube videos. Ugh. I'm very old. I'm quite ancient. You heard it here first. I'm ancient. Descend. Well, I would have lived in Japan. I hear it's very nice. I've got a couple of friends who are moving there in March. They're going to open a sandwich shop, which is very cool. They've done that. They had one here. I guess we can build them up on the back end. Sounds a little weird. I just don't like the bell ringer. I don't think that's going to win me the round. But I just don't want him there. You know, I'm over him being there. Extract 5. Fuck you! This would have helped a while ago. It just kind of sucks to see it now. It feels like a scam here. Okay. Sounds like he's saying okay. Get reaped. 2 times. I think that's the end of my pyre. Unfortunately, my fire goes out, but not forever. That's right.
Well, I haven't really looked into it. Can't your cousin subscribe?
Sorry, I'm looking at Twitch right now. I'm sorry. Hey. I actually haven't looked at Twitch in a while. Okay. Well, gosh darn it. Futa boy, if you're still there, thank you for sticking around. I appreciate the information you gave me. Futanari's consents. No. Do it again. I saw it. I caught it. I saw it. What were you trying to say? Don't, I want to make sure. Oh, fun fact, Futanari is one of the most sold and searched things in corn history of P-Hub, and mostly men watch it. That doesn't surprise me. Men usually want the best of both worlds. Motorcycle covered in googly eyes. I don't mind that. I like googly eyes. I think. Yeah. On a vehicle? Yeah. Yeah. All right, guys. Jesus. Okay, guys. I am leaving right now. I am turning off the stream because I need to stop talking because my voice is going kaputst. We'll be back tomorrow. We'll be doing this again, but without the racist comic book guy. And hopefully nothing else happens that makes me feel like I need to cover it. Because it might. Something else might happen. Something else might show up in my feed. Let's hope it doesn't. I just want to have a nice, relaxing cash stream. At least once for the week, right? Let's clone Alexander the Great and bring him back. We need a real king to rule over us. Tired of these reptilians. Man, I wish I was going to keep the stream going on for like 3 more hours because it sounds like we're getting into some good stuff here. Tune in tomorrow. We're going to be on time, I promise, at exactly 9 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. Right. I say that, and then I'm probably not going to be able to make it directly on time. I'm going to try. I'm going to try my best. All right? Don't express any hate against me. Don't you cyberbully me, okay? Friggin' leave me alone. Okay, thank you very much, guys. Have a good one.